Welcome to the SID's View podcast.
Pretty good, Remy.
Wasn't bad.
Thank you.
Not bad.
Thank you.
What is this?
Yeah.
Woo!
I mean, it's better than me or Diego doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, not bad.
Starting off the
you.
podcast on a disturbing note.
Hell yeah. Have you been practicing that?
I practiced a little
No,
when
you guys had to have
we
set
were
that up.
You
doing
did.
this.
Yeah,
But
She
of
practiced.
course you did.
Before you guys got here, yes. Way to
Oh,
coach you
my
through it.
goodness.
Gotta coach her through it.
Yeah, I
This
have
is
no
great.
chance of doing that.
Welcome.
Oh, Keeter's back in the house.
Yeah, Keeter is back.
Waddell.
It's about time.
Yeah, all right.
Mr. Waddell, he's been kind of absent lately. I don't ever see him.
No, he's not.
No,
never
this
absent.
is a debate about
I just
something.
chatted with him earlier today.
Yeah, he gets
It's
real.
all good.
Oh, yeah, I love Waddell.
Man, the
Yeah.
battle for our number one fan is just raging. I don't even know how it's calculated, but
Well,
Yeah.
I think,
James B, you got it for now.
yeah,
Congratulations.
no, I think Bill Hahn does. You know Bill Hahn?
No, he ain't even on the board. I don't see a number.
Okay.
You see numbers?
I do here. I got number 1, number 2, and number 3.
I never knew
James
that was a
Monahan
thing.
is number 2 somehow.
I am?
James, how is that possible?
I don't think I'm number 2.
That's what it says right here.
Oh, you're number 2, all right.
Hey,
let's-
that's what she said.
He tries to make one every 10 minutes in the pre-show.
It's true.
Yep. Whatever.
Listen, I'm ready for anything. You know what I mean?
Uh-oh. We're reaching the comment. We're reaching the comment levels already for CT Racing Corner.
He took the number 1 spot.
Oh, yes. There
That's
we go.
somehow that's not shocking.
That's
Yeah.
gonna become a battle now in the chat. Is this
Oh,
number
God.
1 spot?
Oh, it's great.
Hopefully it grabs the algorithm.
I
for
love
us.
reading the chats,
Yeah,
man.
same. Keep it up.
Yeah, I love it.
If you can't be number 1 at the track,
Lots of
number 1 in
number
the
2
chats.
flying
That's
already.
right.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It's great that Keeter's on too, man. Guy's still keeping it local. That's great.
He never forgets his roots.
Yep.
I saw him at Lime Rock a few weeks ago. It was nice catching up with him.
Wasn't it nice? That was a nice place.
It's beautiful.
Dude, the race sucked.
Yeah.
Arca was good.
I didn't even stay. Dude, listen, we went all day. So
I know.
we're like 2 or 3 laps into the feature. Sean's like, you want to go somewhere where we can see the whole track? Like, sure. Well, let's go to the bowl. Like, I just see him come by. Heim was just literally
Led every lap but 1.
just absolutely crushing it.
All right, here we go.
No.
What happened? Remy, what happened?
No music?
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Thank
You want me
you.
to start it again? So it's
do it.
official?
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Man Cave for the next edition of the SID's View podcast. Another wonderful Tuesday evening. And wouldn't you know, our main man, Diego, is back in the house. What's up, my man? Hold on a second.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Hell yeah.
Lord.
Feels good to be back in the house, man. I'm looking forward to a great night of podcasting with you folks.
All right, we got our girl Reminator over here on the controls.
Am I going to be the one doing this?
Well, he's going to have Adam Gay to come, but Keith Rocco spun him out coming off the exit ramp, so he's not going to make it.
Yo, yo, yo. It's a beautiful Tuesday. I'm here with my boys. Let's do this.
All right, our man Fro down there with a, once again, immaculately teased Fro.
What up, everybody? Your man Rob back in the house. It was a pretty dry week for racing. Not exactly everywhere else. Also, you may know it. I'm a little bit plain today because it's probably not going to be possible to top that Jaws shirt.
True story right there, my man. All right, listen, everybody, you want to get into that live chat. There's a lot of stuff going on there all the time, every Tuesday night. A lot of yippee yappers going on. Diego tries to moderate it, but sometimes gets a little out of control. YouTube.com/SidsView/join to join the party. Make sure you get over there. You're also going to get some bonus content because we have in studio with us this week the SK Modified Wheelman. Troy Talman's with us. What's up, buddy?
How's it going? Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming. Hold on 1 second here. I'm going to fire this up again, Remy. You got me? There it is. That's
look
what
at
I'm talking
it.
about.
Woo.
Yep.
So, yeah, before we get started, in case anybody's wondering, where's Jack Pixton? Jack has moved on from the podcast. Did a solid job for us, especially back in March when we needed that all-important fifth person for
hell
the
yeah.
brackets, and did the update for us for the first half of the season. We're not quite sure how we're going to handle the update long-term going forward, but until we figure it out, our main man Bonssa is back in the house to do the weekly update for us. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, y'all are stuck with me. I'm so sorry.
I thought we were going to get a lighthearted intro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's great to be here. I'm excited to talk racing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
All
more
right,
like
I gotta
it.
get
That's
the generic
Yeah,
stuff out
yeah,
of the way.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's what we were looking for. All right, let's get our friends from Monaco Ford up and running on the old results ticker. You know how they do it. They take care of us with the top 5 finishers. A little bit light on the results because Seaconk's Friday and Saturday divisions were off. Thompson was off. Stafford got rained out. But the Bowl had 2 nights of racing. And Oxford Plains had the pass and the New England Supermods going on Wednesday. We'll get to all those results later on in the show. But, Diego, why don't you start and tell us how your week off was, my friend?
Well, listen, family trumps, right? And so I was super proud. JJ had a banquet.
Yep.
My first podcast I've missed since we started doing this, I think. Isn't it? Maybe the second. I can't remember. But
No, I think all the ones you missed were during the off season.
yeah, I think
Yep.
so. So it was
Yep.
the first one I officially missed. But the banquet had come up, and JJ looks up at me. And she says, "Dad, are you going to go to the banquet with me?" And I says, "Yeah." She goes, "Pinky promise?" And I said, right there after I pinky promise, I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yo, Sid, I can't make it. I can't make it on Tuesday, bro."
We had the
That's respectable.
Yeah.
we had the pinky promise on the chalkboard chatter last week.
Yeah.
We had some
So-
artwork on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, for
Dubiously
sure.
drawn for sure, but it was there.
Yeah.
Man.
And so this one is self-explanatory. Go on there, little DRC electric chalkboard chatter. Reminator, stay with me.
Absolutely.
All right, there it is. Yep. So listen, you know what? It speaks for itself.
4K Rick.
Yeah, poor K Rick.
Where's he at tonight?
I've been saying that for years. That's a good tagline. Poor K Rick.
4K Rick.
So listen,
I
we were
disagree
at the,
with that sentence. I'm the one that dealt with him for a long time.
All right, so we were at the Racers Reunion over at the Barnyard Speedway. Troy was there as well with his family. Had a good time there. I got some pictures to show you. It's such a great event out there. So check this out. So this is a that's the crafty little logo. I wonder.
I
who
got
made
my
that.
shirt of that.
Yeah, sure you did. Yep. And so this is under the big tent. He had a big barbecue, tons of food there. And we also had the Ron Bouchard Museum was there as one of the classic bowler
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Oh, there's Dion's
That's
car.
beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
Dion's
great.
car was
Oh,
back
yeah,
there.
the
Dave
Berlin
Dion was in the
City.
house. Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
And so these are all pics from our main man, Fran Lawler, by the way. And so these are some of the cars out on the track. That's a sick shot right there.
That's awesome.
And then later on in the day, they had some of the older vintage cars, like really old, like coupes.
Oh, wow. That's really vintage.
Yep. And then later on, we had a little raffle going. I was emceeing the old raffle, 50-50, tons of prizes. And then we got this classic pick. So that's my man, Skip. And Dave Dion, the legendary Dave Dion, and me and Brooksy were there, and it was a great time. Troy, you were there with your whole family. Brian was there. You guys both brought your cars. How did you guys find out about that event, and what brought you to go there this year?
Well, my parents went last year.
Oh, that's
and-
right. I did see your mom there last year. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't go for whatever reason. I should have went.
Yeah.
But this year, we were able to bring both cars of my 6 SK and Brian's 9 late model there. Can't pass that opportunity to go. It's Ed Marceau. That guy's a
Yeah,
legend. He had
he's a
that,
great guy.
That
Yep.
blue 66 that Stefanik drove to so many wins.
Talk about when you were driving there on the track, there on the dirt track.
That was a great time. So that was my first time there. And
It's crazy, right? Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
wouldn't think that it's like
Oh my God, yeah.
it's a legit track. It's pretty awesome.
Pulling up. I didn't know if I was in the right spot. I'm like, oh, there's like trespassers will be violated.
Right,
And
yeah.
then I see the big stone that says Marceau. I'm like, all right, yeah, we're in the right spot.
Yeah.
But it was so cool meeting Ed and then Skip as well. And in the so at the beginning of the day, Ed gave my family an opportunity to be on the track at the same time. So that being myself, my uncle Tom tag, and my cousin Brian tag.
Yeah.
And I had a blast. I've never driven on dirt before, and I was in this old Chevelle buggy looking car. but it had the 6 SK panels on it with the 8 Shiba roof on it. I just had a blast.
Wow. Wow.
And being on the same track as my family was super cool.
Right.
Right. Yeah, and they had so the Perrys were there. They had a similar thing. Jacob Perry and his father Dennis Perry and his grandfather Roger Perry all went out on the track
Were
at
you
the same
able
time.
to get up to a little bit of speed? Or?
Oh yeah, we went like full tilt.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah. There
No
was
kidding.
some guy was out there in like a midget or sprint car and almost rolled it over once or
Really?
twice. Yeah.
That happens a lot of dirt.
I got some video here for you. So I got a couple clips for you. So I took these. They had a 20-lap race, and they had my man Brooksy there.
Brooks is
He was-
looking him over.
He was giving him
Coming
the green
around.
flag. Old school. Still
Oh,
taking
yeah,
it all
he
business.
Get to the green.
Still got the technique down pat.
That's so cool.
Is that the 6 car in the front, Troy, that you
yeah.
were talking about, that you were driving? Yeah, so Ed Marceau was in that car in this race.
Still got it.
Still got it, man.
And I got another clip, too, where it's a little bit easier
That's
to tell the
so
cars.
freaking cool,
Yeah.
man. Look at that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Seriously.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Could you imagine if
Up
you
on the
lived
cushion.
there?
How do you think we'll do
Like, we got to go up there. You guys
So-
want to go race for a couple minutes?
So look at this one. Here's another clip, all right? So that's...
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
So that is, they're going to come around again. The white car in third place is Jacob Perry. And then that's Dave Dion almost going a lap down right there in the 5. So Ed Marceau, and they're side by side for the lead. That's Jacob Perry, the white. And this is Jake Johnson here. See him swinging it by
Oh,
there.
that's Jake
In
Johnson?
the yellow Camaro, yeah.
Oh.
That's so awesome.
So in
dude.
that one race, they had Jake Johnson, Jacob Perry, and Dave Dion.
Wow.
Stacked
Yeah.
field.
So just a really cool event.
A
Yeah.
wide array
Sid,
of
you didn't
racing.
jump in the car?
No, absolutely not.
You didn't try it?
Nah.
Seriously?
Dude, if I'd been able to go, I would have been in that thing.
Listen,
Literally.
Don't even give me a hard time. You didn't even go.
Yeah, but dude, you should be getting. It's a free opportunity to get in a
Nah,
race
I'm
car.
good, man. I'm a video guy.
Oh, I would have loved to
I'm all
have seen
set.
that.
That's
Diego,
what-
if
that's
we
what
can
you guys
both
do.
make it next year, I'll gladly get out there.
would
with
you get in one?
100%.
Oh, it'd be
Yeah.
so cool.
Mistakes waiting.
Well, listen,
Oh, crash. I can
I'm
hear
just
it now.
telling you, you guys were all being asked for, so you
Yeah.
should probably put it on your radar next year, you know? See if we can't make that happen.
I'll announce it. I'll talk all the smack while I'm announcing.
Well, you don't want to
too.
get in the car?
No.
Yeah, see?
Why
Beyond-
not?
Bonsa's like
I'll
me.
stick to what I'm good at, or at least allegedly good at.
You don't
Exactly
know until you
right.
try, Bonza.
Huh?
Could be a wheel, man. You never know.
Yeah, I'll come out with just a steering wheel. You're right.
All right, here we go. Let's get rolling here with the weekly update.
Want to give a thanks to Belltown Motors for sponsoring this week's weekly update. And we're going to start at Oxford Plains Speedway with Pass North and their Celebration of America 300, which was won by Garrett Hall. And he had an eventful day because the day before, it was a 2-day show. The day before, he got bounced after his qualifying race in Tech. So he had to start dead last. 32 car field, by the way.
Yeah.
The next day,
tough.
hours before the feature, engine blows up.
Right.
So
Yeah, I heard this.
his team had to drive an hour to the shop, brought their second car out, which, by the way, won the previous past points event at Star a couple weeks ago, got that car through pre-race tech, started dead last, came through the field, and won the feature.
Dang.
Yeah, that's impressive.
That is a grind.
Were they-
32 cars as
I
well.
heard-
That's
Yeah, 32 cars.
Was there any drama with that? Because there was word going around.
It ended with a one-lap shootout, apparently,
that
which
they
was
took the
unheard
money.
of.
They took the money or something. Have you heard anything about
I
that?
did not hear anything about that, no.
Well, because the car
Elaborate.
didn't go through tech like the other one, or something happened. I don't know how true that is, but there was word going around. Maybe I'm speaking out of terms here, but there was a lot of chirping happening about the car didn't go through tech properly, so they gave him the win but took the money. I don't know how true that is.
Keeter's in chat with the rumor was he didn't race the car he qualified.
Yeah, so they did
Yeah.
something, and I'm not sure what happened there, but we raced with him down south. He brought that car run a pro late against Brody.
Yeah.
multiple times, and he's a hard driver, and obviously he has Oxford down, right?
All right, so Remy we got to teach Remy how she needs to just interrupt because we're already into post-race tech and we want to show a clip here
Okay,
of
so
how we
I
took the
do
lead
have
3
a
wide.
video of him going 3 wide for it. So here we go.
All right, check it. He's in the 94 car.
Yep.
The track is really
In
wide.
third place
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
Jimmy Renfrew
You
Jr.
can run
leader,
multiple groups
Garrett
there.
Hall
Yeah, you can
the
see that.
inside the
That is a
94.
move.
Yeah.
Garrett Hall is through, and he takes over the lead.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That was Renfrew in the 0-0.
He
you said?
barely had room to
Yeah.
make that move.
And they had a 1-lap shootout at the end, and he had to hang on in that last lap.
Against Renfrew?
No,
Yeah, because Renfrew.
Dwyron, I think. Joey
Yeah,
Dwyron.
Joey
And
Dwyron
he's
finished
nasty
second,
there,
yeah.
too.
He's really fast.
Tapley says there was tech issue, nothing to do with qualifying. So
Okay.
There you go.
yeah, it's probably the winner there.
Also at Oxford Plains, the New England Super Modified Series raced, and Jeffrey Battle got his second consecutive win in that series. And we know how fast Jeffrey always is in the Super Mods.
Yeah, so just real quick, because that's all the touring series results I have. So let me just give you those standings here real quick. And there was, I wasn't able to get the pass update, but in the super mods, so John McKennedy was the point leader, had an issue with his car. Somebody offered him a ride, but
Yep.
it didn't work out, and he did not race, and he fell to
Whoa.
8th in points.
I'm not sure if he blew
Yeah.
up, but yeah, he broke.
No, so I seen the post. He was supposed to drive another car.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he ended up not doing that.
That never came to
Nope.
fruition.
Yeah, so not only lose the point lead, he dropped all the way to 8th.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a bummer. So that's all the update from last week with the. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I think that's all the. I forget.
On
I'm
that
confused.
graphic,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Bonta. I'll shut up.
All right. He finally said it. All right. So later that night, Wild and Wacky Wednesday happened, and in the Super X cars, Sean Skinner got his first win of the year. In the X cars, Ray Herman wins over his son Christian for his first win of the year. Legend
life.
cars, yeah. Legend cars, Jacob Burns, he
Rowdy.
notches down a victory. So he continues to click off checker flags no matter where he races. And then the Bandoleros, Connor Doyon, went 2 for 2. So he's perfect so far in 2025.
Yeah, undefeated. Yep, impressive.
It's hard to keep up with the Jacob Burns wins. I hear that like there's a Jacob Burn win. I'm like, I gotta pick him win, and I'm like, wait, no, that really doesn't mean anything because he's out driving. Whoever knows how many different classes. At this
You can
point.
pick him for a week, but you better pick the right division.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
mean, is it
thing.
possible? Like, is there a week I could just pick like all Jacob Byrne for different races?
No.
Hey, you know, and I think the car counts got a little boost because Seekonk was off, but it's worth noting 22 Legend cars, 20 Super X cars. And last year we were talking about like a 2-car Bandolero race. They had 7.
Yep.
Even the late model field looked pretty good. I
Well,
saw.
we're not there yet. We're still
Okay.
talking about
All right,
Wednesday.
all
So listen, we got it. We cannot talk about not talk about Ray Herman's win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my man has been in, around some sort of racing with Bubby. He's
Yeah,
been trying
he's been
to,
around forever.
He's been trying to win a race. Stuff that guys like Keith Rocco take for granted.
Yeah.
He's been trying to win a race, and not only did he win, but he won in his son's car,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
It's cool.
And I think his son may have finished second or third, right?
He finished
Son is
second.
finished second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1-2.
Yep. Yep.
I mean,
Doesn't get better than that.
he's got to get a shout out, man. The dude's been grinding at the Speedbowl for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And finally knocked down a win.
Better late
So,
than never.
Better late
It's
than
incredible.
never.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
So Friday at Stafford, which was Great Rate Rentals Kids Night, was washed out just before heat
Yeah.
races got underway.
And that was one of the most painful
Yeah.
experiences. I mean, you do every bit of setup. It literally, like, it's go time, pit preview ends, and the drops start falling. It was like that second.
and it poured.
And it was just a monsoon. Yep.
Trees were down.
We were in our trailer, and we weren't going to bring the car in. Did you bring the car in the trailer yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I seen a lot of people out on. See, I'm not fortunate enough yet to have air jacks. So I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm not lowering that thing with a jack in the rain. Right. So I'm like, let's pull the thing up in the trailer. And it was torrential. I mean, and they
Yeah.
called it right away.
Yeah. I mean, the power started flickering in the trailer. That's how you know. It's like,
Well, the winds
pretty
were
much over.
horrible.
Yeah.
The wind gusts were bad.
Yeah.
I had thought that they were saying, oh, we're going to let it pass. I thought it was only going to rain for like maybe a half hour, 40
It kept
minutes.
going.
No,
It was
2
the right
hours.
choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I knew we were in trouble when Tommy, who does fence line films, he was going around to all the cars getting the cameras, and I think this was still probably during second
Practice.
practice. I'm like, hey Tom,
Right.
what are you doing? He's like, we're not getting in.
Yeah.
today."
Yeah.
It's bad luck.
Right.
It really
that
was.
sucks.
I mean, the
Yeah.
cell was very oblong, and it like the way the wind was blowing, it would have been over us the entire time it existed.
Yeah.
I mean, the sky was turning green. I was like, pack it up. And I was like, go find cover right now. I run the cameras.
Hey, I know we talked pre-show, but I'm just going to make fun of myself because I was one of those guys that got there at 11:30. You know, I'm like,
You were there?
I know. I keep laughing at people for going early, and I'm like, you know, I was there. But you know what was great about the one thing that I could say was great about going early that I value conversations with guys like Todd Owen, Jerry Pearl, all these people that you just get to mingle with because you don't have anything to do but put your chair in line. And once you get set up, you know, you go over and swing over to the Chassis Pro hauler and you talk, or, you know, you walk by Tyler Trott and his people and say, what's up? You know, it's great for that whole camaraderie thing because a lot of people don't really have a lot to do.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you end up just talking. I was over talking to the guys, you know, Anglace's crew, the guy over there that runs a 63.
Oh, Flamia, yeah.
Flamia is really cool. My man got an old school open hauler ramp truck, so badass. But he got a fresh set of air jacks. So, you know what I mean? Like,
dude, I mean, we always talk about like the Speedbowl, you know, family, like you said, the camaraderie and the environment. But I think Stafford's almost undersold in that regard, especially when you got people pitting the same spots for years and years and years. I mean, you just know you can go to X, Y, and Z location for X, Y, and Z thing. I mean, there's food, everything you need, spare equipment. Like, there's a lot of things happening there.
I think the pre-race like that really helps that vibe because the one thing that I thought, you know, as bad as I sucked when I ran open mods at Stafford, I would get in my pit stall, and I would never talk to my neighbors. It was weird. Like, this is really weird. Like, I go to the Speedbowl.
You not talking is definitely weird.
I'm a chatterbox up and down pit road. Ask him. I even swing.
It's almost like an end of times type sign right there.
Stop. That's it, bro. That's
okay.
enough.
Okay,
That's
sorry.
enough. No, but I even stopped at. I didn't even really know.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so, you know, I love the chatter. I love the camaraderie. It's part of racing for me, like the families, hanging out with people, getting to know Troy. Like I said, I stopped over at Waterford and chatted with him. I try to do that often to meet different people. And at Stafford, I always felt like you didn't do that, but I guess being there a little early
helps.
makes it possible.
You see it all come together.
Yeah.
So stop talking smack.
Yeah. I
don't think that's gonna.
Well, you know,
stop
the
it,
programs. This isn't talking smack. The program's so well organized there that you just have to be busy.
Oh,
or you're gonna miss.
You're on the clock.
That's what I'm saying. I could tell if I showed up when everybody else showed up, I'm not talking to anybody because I'm kind of like this guy, and I just want to make sure that the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted before Emma goes out. I don't want any problems, and I want to give her the best opportunity. So I don't have time to go chat with anybody.
Yep.
And the opening the gates early. Not only that, but I get to chat with Lisa and them up in the front
Oh,
office.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
a lot of fun.
You guys get any?
That's they had a rain out. Move on.
Yeah,
Let's
okay.
go.
Still giving Stafford love. Still giving Stafford love.
I know, but I mean, they rained out,
Yeah.
so let's keep the show going. Let's
All
go.
right.
Yep.
Fast forward to Saturday, Waterford.
Ooh.
Okay. That happened. SK Modifieds. Eric Burnt hangs on to the win after charges from both Anthony Flannery and Andrew Moeller. I blanked out there for a second. Moeller was going for 4 in a row. He was up there battling for the lead, came up a couple positions short. So Burnt got his second win of the year. And I want to give a shout out to Eric's wife, Leanna.
Hell yes.
She's been fighting cancer, and she got to ring the bell today. So
Dude, I was
Yeah,
so
that's
excited
awesome.
to
Yeah.
see
That's
that.
awesome, man. Yep.
we love you, Leanna. We're rooting for you.
They
Yeah.
won twice this week.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Absolutely.
They
did.
won twice this week, so.
Yeah, no, I was happy for them, but we did have some drama in that race. Remy's got the
I
clip.
do have that.
All right, let's go. So this is Adam Gaeta, and he's hunting down Keith Rocco there in the 09. Adam Gaeta's behind him in the white 27. Timmy Jordan lurking. Adam had a fast
No,
car.
Adam's fast.
Yeah.
Legit fast.
A little tap right there. There's a little tap.
That was
Gets
all
the
fair
lane.
and good right there.
Yep, gets the underneath him. Keith Rocco.
Yeah, he did not. Oh my!
Yeah.
How did he
He-
even gain that much speed on
Dude,
the straightaway? It seems
That's
impossible.
that's a grade A.
Adam got loose first.
Yeah. Sounds like something a driver would say.
It was his fault.
But Keith didn't do him any favors, dude.
No.
My God.
I mean, you're running the back of somebody on the highway. Whose fault?
Yeah. Yeah, true story.
Strange that Keith did not get penalized for that.
It is strange. Listen, You know, I'm a big fan of Keith Rocco. He's a good friend of mine.
Oh, we know.
But who didn't see that? I watched that like you watched it through the camera. I watched that whole event transpire. How nobody's seen that happen. I just feel bad for Adam Gaeta because, you know, that team is working real hard. They wreck, they come back, they're fast, and a chassis that nobody will run. And they're doing it, and they're running fast.
The only thing I'll say is I had a couple people at the Racers Reunion talking to me just about the race and saying that, like, they didn't call Rocco because Rocco's the Speedbowl's favorite. Like,
that's bullshit.
You're 100%
That's
right,
bullshit.
it is. And, there's no, I mean, I don't want to get into a whole thing here, but anybody that went to the 2017 banquet, I think, would know that Keith Rocco is not the shining star of the Speedbowl brass. So,
I mean,
the fact that they didn't that he didn't have that call because of that reason is just not accurate.
Yeah, watching that just now, I'm almost fine with them being kind of lenient on it, especially because of how loose he got in front of Rocco. I mean, there was a big time slow up there to the point where I don't think the contact would have been that bad if it didn't happen.
But, you know, Keith, in Adam's defense, Keith has a gas pedal. And also, you know, Adam knew he had gotten into, right, Troy? So he knew he had given him the bump and run up in 3 and 4. So, you know, Adam Gaeta
he had to know something was coming.
He's all in. He is driving his heart out. And I looked like he got loose off of 4, off of 2.
No, for sure. I mean, knowing the circumstances of play and the guys involved, probably a little bit of payback.
But Keith is great. He has pedal control. He has car control.
But you don't want to call that almost because, like, I feel like that exact same accident could have happened by mistake. So, I mean, if you call the Keith Rocco one, I mean, it's not like you're going to call up the driver and say, hey, was that on purpose?
Hold on. Remy's going to play this clip again. You're saying that after Adam got by him,
he got loose
coming
at
2.
Check it out, Troy. You tell me, too.
Watch the 2 cars behind Gaeta. Not just Rocco. Watch them both.
Here we go.
Well, you think Rocco got loose, too?
No, but I'm saying that the car behind Rocco.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Go ahead. All right, so this is the lap before. So this is what Adam's sizing them up. Yep.
And Adam was doing this for multiple laps.
Yeah, which is why I kept the camera on those two because there was going to be something happening.
Now, that wasn't awful.
Not the worst ever.
No.
Not at all.
But you know he has to drive his heart out right now. That's Keith
So
Rocco.
watch Gaeta versus the 2 cars behind.
Oh, yeah. He does get loose.
I mean, I don't know if you need to call that.
That's
I don't
interesting.
know. Tapley, what do you think? I mean, let us know.
That's interesting.
I mean, because he has car control. Keith has car control.
Yeah, one of the
Keith
best.
decided right there. He had a split-second decision.
I
Do
know.
I
I mean,
do
the
it
game
or
slowed
do
up
I
a
don't
lot.
do it?
Yeah.
Right? You know, it could have been prevented, just in my opinion. But
The world may never know.
They probably will never
Unless
know.
you ask Keith.
Then we could do that.
I don't know.
Keith's never going to tell you. What are you talking about?
Well, we can still ask.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
could ask the question, but
Yeah, man.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Next up, the late models, which saw a first-time winner. Corey DiMatteo gets his maiden victory in that division.
Oh, so hold on there. Let's do before we get to Remy's clip. Let's chime in with the good old fashioned. See, I'm not ready. I'm all discombobulated over. I got wrapped up into the live chat. You know what I'm saying?
It's easy.
DiMatteo was due for a late model win, though. Anytime he's driven that car, he's been fast.
He was
No
due
doubt.
for any win, really. I mean,
That's with the year he's been having. Yeah,
I'm
he
happy to
needed
see
a
it.
win
Yep.
of some sorts.
All right, so this is what we wanted to get to.
Yeah, look at this graphic.
So our friends over at Midstate Site Development, we love the corners, big supporters, and we appreciate it as always. The stat drop of the week, Corey DiMatteo became the 6th different driver to win in at least 5 different divisions in Speedbowl history. The other ones, your brother Sean Monahan has 8 on the circle track, and he also has numerous Demolition Derby wins. Streeters, late models, SKs, mini stocks, 4-cylinder and 8-cylinder enduros, outlaw stocks, and trucks. Keith Rocco has 7 Streeters, SKs, late models, trucks, Nemo Light, Pro 4 mods, and Tour type mods. Alan Coates has 5 pure stocks, mini stocks, Streeters, late models, and trucks. Corey Hutchins has 5 Streeters, late models, SKs, outlaw, and trucks. And Andrew Moeller, Bandoleros, Legend Cars, SK Lights, SKs, and late models, which is the same 5 divisions that Corey now has won in. So,
Good list.
yeah, really neat place in Speedbowl history, and kind of cool to come and see him. He's raced a late model down there before, but it was cool. They had a great car count, man. They had what did they have?
13. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were good cars. I mean, like
Jake
Johnson showed up.
Yeah.
Like there was the top 10 were like literally separated by a 1/10.5 to 2/10.
Yeah, that's cool.
You
Bobby
know,
Sturck was there.
Yeah, Bobby Sturck was there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
It was a good field.
It really was, and when she shows her clip, you could see the lineup of cars. You haven't seen it. We ran heat races.
Long time.
Heat races.
Yeah.
They're like, Emma's like, we're starting on the pole.
A new
Dad.
era.
Oh, we got heat races? Hell yeah. We get to race a second, for 2 times in a night. It's great.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Rams, go ahead. Let's do a little more drama, shall we?
Let's do it.
I was shocked when I first opened this video up. I was like, is this from this year? There's a lot of cars.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's Emma on the outside.
Oh, jeez.
So that's Tyler Chapman, former that raced the trucks.
Yeah.
And he's had that late model for several years.
He has. He showed up, too. It was his first time back this weekend,
I thought you meant SK Chapman at first. I was like, is he trying to
No,
rival
no.
Burns here? What is this?
That was the truck Chapman. And, he had done that in the heat race to Gaedeke, same move. This time they had gone around, and unfortunate, it was early in the race, and we were out of it after that pretty much. But
it was like lap 4, I think.
4 or 5.
Yeah,
Emma got
really
out and was
early.
battling with the 64 for the lead.
Yeah.
We just got to catch a break here. Emma's been fast and getting better weekly, and nothing of her own doing. But hey, you know what? Stuff happens, right? What are you going to do? Fix it and come back again. But the car count was great. Jake Johnson, Chris Taylor come back with his car, and with DiMatteo driving. Those guys put on a great show. DiMatteo's car's bouncing off the track, and Jake Johnson
I was wondering if Johnson could get there,
he
but he couldn't.
Well, Jake Johnson was just looking effortless all day there. His car just looked so good.
And I think that might have been his first time racing at Waterford in a late model.
When I seen him on the track, I said, "Oh, damn, Jake Johnson is here."
So listen, I think Tapley, and only the way Tapley could give you his opinion on the SK race by saying that, quote, I think Emma just got loose. He attributes attributing that quote to Fro. Yeah, that's great. All right, Bonsa, what else you got there, Chief?
SK Light Modifieds. Tyler Chapman gets his second win of the year and grabs the point lead. Spoiler alert, sorry, Sid.
Hey, well, hold on a second now before you go anywhere. I keep wondering if I'm going to have to update this graphic, but you know what? We might as well, because Tyler won and the other Tyler brought out a late model. So we're not throwing this graphic out yet, and it's still
We thought it was over.
It's only 2-1, so they are it's not at the rate that we were updating this graphic last year. But it is still a nail biter, so we'll keep our eye on it.
And Tyler had to hold off Kevin Davis at the end. They had a green-white checker, and they were almost side-by-side at the line. It was a really good race.
Yeah.
Anybody's game.
Hey, listen, that Tyler Chapman, dude's a shoe.
He is.
Really is.
I mean, he is a shoe. He had a great outing up at Seekonk. Stafford, he shocked the hell out of me, to be
he's
honest.
raced all 3 types. SK Light at Waterford, SK at Stafford, and
I think
now
he's entered in for the Modified Masters as well.
He is.
Is that
And
at
I am
Stafford?
The Monaco Modified race.
Oh, yeah, he's in there with the 06, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. I mean, he ran good at Seekonk. Now he's going to his home track.
I suspect they're going to be close.
I do too.
It's great.
I think
for
they're
him.
going to shock a lot of people with this performance.
Yeah, great for him. And I always say this, and Sumner and the whole crew are just awesome people. I couldn't be happier for them. And Tyler's a great kid, so awesome for those guys.
And Nick Hovey got caught up in an early wreck.
Oh, are we going to talk about
So
that?
he fell several laps down, but I think he came in as the point leader, so he had a bad night because of that. Moving forward, Street Stocks, probably one of the best races of the night. Aaron Plemons, who had a flat tire midway through the feature, comes back through the field and beats Jordan Hadley on the last lap for his 3rd win of the season.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Well, I do have that video since y'all want to watch, probably.
That we do, Remy.
Way to set it up, Red.
That we do.
And these two were going at it for the first half of that race until Plemons had the
I
flat
got to tell
tire.
you this, too. Jordan is a bulldog.
They both are.
Oh, you got it. He's got a good enough car to hold him up. That 67 is bad fast, though.
Yep.
Yeah, once he got that tire put on, which I'm assuming was an older tire.
Whoa, I mean, and Jordan doesn't take this stuff lightly right here.
Well, they were doing this back and forth all race. That little left rear lean.
Oh, yeah. This is unbelievable.
And they were pretty cordial afterwards.
Yeah, so
Wow, that was the finish?
That's the finish, yeah. So just let this play for a minute, too, because to that point, Bonssa, after the race...
Look at him getting the freaking sunglasses on.
Makes up for our shows we didn't have, huh?
But I like this where, these two guys were fast. They're both admittedly aggressive, but they shook hands and listen. Jordan's not happy he lost that race, but he appreciates the competition there, and that's all you can ask for. You know?
Jordan's a shoe, and I'm telling you this, boy, Aaron Plemons, that dude is getting it done.
Oh, we've seen that
everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah,
and to their credit, one bumped the other got him back.
Yeah,
it was fair.
You know who ran great that race? Ike Chima.
Yeah.
Ike Chima spun out the leader early, going for the lead. It was totally not on purpose, and I could tell he felt bad.
Yeah, he just made a mistake.
He made a mistake, and then Aaron, when he had to blew his tire, spun out Ike, going for third. But I look back at the lap times.
He was keeping up pretty decently.
Ike Chima almost had the same lap time as Aaron Plemons.
Yeah.
Best lap of the race. Ike, listen, this is no knock on Al Stone. But, these Leafs are turning over. I see Ike work the top groove on Al Stone and clear him and drive away. I'm like, damn, Ike is getting it tonight.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch. Ike is a great personality in that division.
Yeah, he's a super great
guy.
And he is an awesome dude. He's in the stands after, shaking everybody's hands. It's just a pleasure to watch him race. So.
It'll be a great moment when
he wins.
When he gets the
I
ball.
feel like he will.
Yo, the roof.
Everyone will go crazy.
Yeah.
He's one of the more popular drivers.
I'd go crazy. I'd be happy for him.
All right. Speaking of Plemons, in the X-Cars 40-lap feature, Brandon Plemons got the victory, holding off Corey Caddick at the checkered flag.
Old guy still got it.
That was a good race.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I got really good at the end.
Corey gave Plemons a little tap there on the last lap.
So it was pretty good there, right in the we got
beginning.
we get a little meltdown special. You know how we like those.
Oh, in the beginning.
In the beginning,
Oh,
Here
yes.
we go.
What the hell did I miss, man? I just want to kind of see.
Watch the 11 car, second car on the inside.
Yeah, so the 11, that's Tim Burgess, and that's is that Christian that got right underneath him right there?
No,
No, I think he's on the outside.
Look, Christian's right behind him.
Oh, he's
Oh yeah,
behind
that's
him,
right. Yeah, all right.
keep
a little
it
of that.
Watch this little jump right here.
Yeah.
And he goes back on track.
So we got this.
What
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he was going to save it. I was like, nice job.
He did. He just had a horrible angle going into the turn
there's
and locked
nothing
the
you can really
brakes
do
up.
about
Here we go.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
I don't know why he was so mad at the 11. The 11 didn't try to do that.
There's nothing else he could have done.
He probably had no idea what even happened beforehand.
Right, look at him. He's chasing him around here.
Good job by you staying with it here, Bonzo.
I had a feeling something would happen.
Look
Yep.
at this. Did they throw him out for this?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
No, they didn't. He finished. Let me see.
He didn't
finished
come
ninth.
back out.
He finished ninth. The 11 finished ninth.
Later on that clip, I said, "It's lap 0, folks."
Right.
We hadn't even gotten underway, and there was drama.
Yeah.
But yeah, good for Brandon Plemons.
The old guy still has it. I made a comment on his post and hashtagged washed up, and he proved me wrong. That's for damn sure. So
All
good
right.
for him.
Moving forward to Crown Vics, Jake Caprio got his first ever win at Waterford, and that was a very good moment for the Caprio family.
Yeah, third generation winner at the Speedbowl there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's
Definitely.
unbelievable.
And the Legend Cars, PJ Evans gets his first Saturday win. He did win a Wild and Wacky Wednesday event that was on a Sunday, I believe. So that's 2 wins at Waterford for PJ Evans.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, having a good year, man.
Yeah,
Winning-
PJ's nasty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Win different
PJ.
cars, different tracks.
Dude is nasty.
all good.
Moving to the American Canadian Tour, they had the Yvonne Bedard 149 at Circuit Riverside Speedway. After 30 laps, rains came in again, and they had to postpone the event. It'll be resumed on August 17th.
So do they start from lap 30?
Yes.
Who
They
was
resume.
who? Do you know who the
Same
leaders
cars
were?
and everything you got to
I
bring?
don't know who was leading at the time.
I know I picked.
Maybe Sean can say.
So what is? Just
Well,
because,
she says no. Tapley says no.
no,
But no to what?
no, that they don't start on lap 30.
Well, I was gonna say because like,
Oh,
and what if
okay.
you want to go race that car? I mean, and you bin it. I mean, do you have to bring the same car too?
Well,
How does that work?
It happened a couple years ago at the Open Modified to Stafford. We ran 5 laps, and then like I think Goodale went like head on the wall during those first 5 laps.
Yep.
Rains came, and I think he was able to bring the car back
Yeah.
the next week or 2 weeks later.
I'm assuming they must do a complete redo of the day then.
You almost have to, right?
Right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think I picked, is his name Tariff?
Tardif. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Canadian guy running awesome. So
See, Tapley says the majority of the laps were under caution. They never really started.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
you go.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I know they were trying to dry the track up as quickly as possible because there were concerns there was no rain day. So they had to go all in to get that event in that day.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it just rained right as they were probably getting close to drying the track.
I seen Scott's post. There was like 0% chance of rain that day.
Yep.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, that's
and
that's
that
awful.
tour has had a bunch of bad luck with weather this
Yeah.
year.
And all the travel to get up there, it's a bummer for
Seriously,
those guys,
right.
dude.
Troy, you ever done fendered stuff?
No,
Brian never said, "Can you? I want to be late. Take this out for practice for me." Nothing.
I wouldn't fit in the seat. I would need like 97 pillows.
Whoa!
All right. Yeah, Troy's here. You got that in.
So nonchalantly, too.
Great.
All right. What else you got, Bonsa?
MRS, the Modified Racing Series, was supposed to race Saturday at Riverside Speedway, the American Riverside Speedway, but they canceled the event last week due to lack of support, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's
What is that?
So-
Lack of what
yeah,
support?
what does that mean? So
like
they
car
didn't-
count
Yeah,
or
the
like
car
car
count.
count?
No
Yeah.
commitment.
Right.
They
Yeah.
could get no commitment from anybody.
Yeah,
Correct.
so they had to cancel the event, which is just
That sucks.
really
Dude, them
Sad.
northern tracks, for some reason or another, like I noticed that, like, the Monaco Tri-Track Series,
Yeah.
They have such an
They got
awesome
15.
but when they go up north, they don't show up.
Yeah. Well, it's also
Travel, it's far.
also
Yeah, but there's northern guys up there. I think Kimball was one of the only ones that ran with them. The guy in the 6 car used to run with him. I forgot his name. His name was Bain or something. But there's a few guys that used to run up there with them, and they're just not around. They don't show up. I don't understand why. And it's not a surprise to me that the MRS goes up there, and they must have had under 10. They had to have.
Yeah, because to outright cancel the event
Right.
because you don't have the car count, I mean, that has to be really bad. Because I've seen some
I
shows
heard-
go through recently where they really don't have a car count.
I heard secondhand, but I heard there was only 8 cars committed.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Yeah.
tough.
It's a tough field. They come down here, though, like I said to you before, when they come into Connecticut, always got a lot of cars.
Well, it's Riverside, which is way the hell up
How
there.
far-
It's
how
like
far?
4.5 hours. I just
Past
looked it up.
Claremont?
It's 4.5 hours from here,
yeah.
Yeah.
up
Jeez.
in
and
Maine.
it's a
That's-
holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a
tough-
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
a
tough
tough
one.
pull. Yep.
Moving on to the ROC Tour, Race of Champions. They raced at Evans Mills Raceway Park. The Rocket 76er Matt Hirschman won. That's his 21st season with a win in that tour.
That's crazy.
21 seasons
That's
with a win.
crazy, man.
And Andy Jankowiak finished third. And because Hirschman and Beers finished 1-2 and were already in the Race of Champions event at Thompson, Jankowiak now punches his ticket to that event at the World Series.
That's how they do that, huh?
Yeah.
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 So
That's going to be a good event.
I'm excited
it's
for
a good
that
list
race.
of cars
Dude, you should
already.
put an ROC car together or something.
Come on, Talman, get on that.
That would be great to put a big field of all these drivers. I mean, it's going to be a good show.
Yeah.
That's at the World Series.
Yeah, October 11th.
Oh, it's going to be a great
Diego,
show.
when you said that, I thought you were talking to Bonza.
What?
Tell him to put an ROC car together. I was like, hey, you even want to race
Bonza?
dirt? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No,
I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
No, Bonds
Bonza, would you consider it?
He's got to stick to
I can
media.
barely drive my Toyota, let alone
Yeah, there you go.
drive a modified.
All right, Bonsa, before you finish up there, let me interject here with some point updates here from the results. Also want to thank JDL Motorsports who gave us the touring update earlier. Let's check out over at the Speedbowl what's going on here. We got Andrew Moeller now with a 7-point lead over Flannery. Rocco is right there. Jordan, Todd Owen. Devin Deshays is the late model point leader. It's kind of weird to see Jason Palmer not up there, but of course he
Not
missed
at
several
all.
races to begin the season. Tyler Chapman leading the SK Lights. Nick Hovey down to 4th.
How about Kevin Davis, the rookie?
Kevin Davis,
second
yeah.
in points.
Impressive.
Dude, you know who we haven't messaged yet?
Message?
I mean,
Mentioned.
Bloxham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Solid.
That dude is nasty.
He got spun last week while running second, I believe. So he had to come from the back to finish the race.
He's very exciting to watch.
Yeah.
He's very exciting to watch, whether it's at Stafford or Waterford. The dude is like, he always seems laser focused on the track.
Very methodical.
I love watching him race. He's really, really good, and he's super clean racer. So,
all right. So the only other division that updates is the street stocks. So Aaron Plemons with the win has now a 2-point lead on Hadley, and Ike Chima.
There is
solid third right there.
A lot of great points races here. The truck one, I feel like, is going to be. I mean, without Chapman and Beal going at it, I was kind of like, but they still might have something shaping up there.
Yep. And then, so the Speedbowl has so many divisions, they need 2 graphics. So Crown Vics, Greg Prevost is leading that one. Ben Pollard has the
how about
and
this
Skinner
one?
Are tied there atop the Super X cars.
I don't want to get too excited, but I know when we picked our champs segment,
Yep.
I know who my boy is leading, the Legends.
Who's that now?
Riley Paul.
Oh, Riley Paul.
I picked him.
He's very underrated.
I picked him.
Yep.
He's on the verge of busting out for
He
multiple
is.
wins.
He's fast. Just
fast.
needs a little bit more.
Just a little more, but they are fast.
He's got the biggest points lead at the track right
That's
now.
what I'm
He's a
saying.
consistent podium car.
Is Brandon Plemons running the whole season in the X cars?
Yes.
Dude, no way. That's awesome.
Where's he
that's
at
cool.
points?
He's
My
third.
man is third.
He's coming for it.
And he's in a Herman car too,
Yeah,
right?
so-
They're all 3 Herman cars.
Yeah.
All 3
One, two,
Herman cars won this season so far too.
Yes.
They got a lock on that division. Yep, for sure.
Probably cheating.
All right, and then lastly, wow.
I'm just
okay.
joking. I'm
Jeez.
joking, you guys. Herman's, I'm joking. You guys are fast.
All right, and then real quick, lastly, only because they're going to get back after it tomorrow at Thompson. Let's just check out from our friends over at Serve Pro. A little reminder what's going on over there. Your point leaders are Todd Owen in the Snoco mods, Jake Johnson in the late models, Nick Hovey in the SK Lights, Larry Barnett still has a nice 30-point lead in those streeters, selling tires and everything on Facebook.
yeah,
but
he
he's got
is.
that point lead. We'll see what happens there. And the crafty veteran Dave Trudeau. So they're getting back after it tomorrow. Bonsa, back over to you.
Got a couple more items left. Smart Modifieds at Caraway for the Revolutionary 99. Danny Bone dominated the race and got his first win this season. And then in Chicago, you had the Grant Park 165 at the street course. Ryan Preece gets his 5th top 10 in the last 8 races. He finished 7th in the event. So they're still going
He can do
pretty
it
good.
anywhere. I mean, that proves it.
Yeah.
How about one more thing? How about Melissa Fifield coming back?
Yes, that's a good point. She raced in the Smart Modified
Tour.
race, and she had been fighting cancer too.
I love to see her up there back in action again. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yep.
Racing seems so small
It really does.
at that point. Just to be back was great to see.
Yep. Good point.
And lastly, former flagman Bob Jelinas passed away last Tuesday after a battle with cancer. Longtime assistant to Dick Brooks, flag stand at Thompson Speedway. The services will be private, but there will be a celebration of life in his honor at the Cohansey Firehouse Pavilion in Waterford on Saturday, July 26th at 2 o'clock.
So I knew Jelinas, obviously, because
You must have known him very
he
good.
was Brooksy's assistant. So funny. Here's a picture of him and Brooksy from I scanned that from an old Speedway scene. I think that's from 1980.
Oh.
And so funny story is, I was around racing for a long time when I was a kid, and there were certain people that were kind of like in my memory. And then I kind of like lost track of them. And there's 2 people that stick out. One is Dick Williams. When Dick Williams came back on the scene, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
And then Bob Jelinas was at my cousin Richie's wedding. And that was many years ago, but he came up to me and introduced himself, and I said the same thing. Oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
Like the familiarity, just he looked so familiar.
Yep.
And it kind of like jogged by. So he was a nice guy, and like I said, he was Brooksy's right hand man for a long time, and that's the other part of it. As much as we are extremely happy for Liana Burnt and for Melissa, unfortunately, as Diego and I know. There's also the downside to cancer. Not everybody is successful in beating it. So our thoughts go out to his family and made his mark on the racing scene. So, all right. Bonssa, tremendous job on the update. Thank you, buddy.
And thank you to Belltown Motors for sponsoring the weekly update.
All right. And so now, Remy, get yourself ready because you know how we do it. It's that wonderful time. Oh, she's like a American Idol contestant here. She's very conscious of her throat, and she needs to make sure she has water there. And
Gotta
okay.
make sure that I'm hydrated.
This is a big time performance right here.
It really
Exactly.
is. All right. Waddell Communications for this week's Nostalgia Nugget. The week.
That was a little rough for
Yeah,
you, Sid.
I crackled there at the
Jeez.
end. We almost had it. Son of a bitch. All right. Anyways.
You're holding back the band.
All right. So as I said before, the legendary Busch North driver, former champion Dave Dion, was at the Racers reunion. So I thought this was a fitting little nugget. July 10th, 1982, which in a couple days will be the 43rd anniversary of the very first NASCAR sanctioned race at the Waterford Speedbowl. It was a NASCAR North race, which was the precursor to both the basically the Act Tour, because it was started by Tom Curley. And an interesting nugget about that event was it was the very first NASCAR event that Randy LaJoie ever competed in. He was actually given that opportunity. He drove Robbie Crouch, another legendary Busch North driver from back then. His father, C.A. Crouch, owned the car that Randy got a start in. He would race a few more times that year, and then he went on to race full-time the following season, 1983, and won Rookie of the Year. And then in 1985, he won the NASCAR North Series Championship, which was the last championship for that series before it kind of fractured in and Curley left and created the Act Tour. And then NASCAR came back a year or two later with the Busch North Series. So I have a couple of interesting little pieces here to show you. This is some rare footage of, I think, which was practice that day of Busch North cars, 1982.
Wow.
I scored this from Pat Doherty. I'm sorry. Pat Doherty gave me this footage. I think maybe Ken Meisenhelder transformed it for him. It was old reel-to-reel stuff. That might have been Dick McCabe in the old Zero car right there.
I love old footage.
Yeah,
like
this looks beautiful.
So awesome.
So to that point about just how rare this footage is, we talk about, especially the stuff that, that we do, and just how important preserving the history is. That was the first NASCAR race at the Speedbowl, and that's the only footage of it.
No
and
kidding.
And this is after 1979, which is really, when NASCAR really became a national presence. So it wasn't like it was before NASCAR was a big deal. And so I mean, this is the recap in the trade paper. And I mean, that's like a stock photo from Dave Dion. It's not even a picture of him in Victory Lane. So it's, to me, just mind-boggling that there was not even really... I believe the track photographer then was a guy named Mike Messina, who's kind of fell off the face of the earth. No one really knows where his archives are or anything.
Wasn't he a Yankees pitcher too?
That would be no.
There was a pitcher named Mike Messina.
Yeah. No, this is... it was Macina, so it was a little bit different.
No, I got you.
So there is... now, this is from the following year, 1983. And this is a Howie Hodge photo.
Oh, the party.
How cool is that?
And
That's
so
nice. Look
those
at that.
cars
Look at
are
those
so
cars,
cool.
dude.
yeah, that's not a pit party. That is
That's
outside
driver
introductions.
intros, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
And so this is a Howie Hodge photo. I checked with Fran Lawler, who's the gatekeeper of Howie's archives, and Howie was not at the track in '82. So just another little thing about being a historian. I know Troy is loves the history of the sport too, and just how important it is to preserve the history, because that's a pretty, in my opinion, that's a pretty monumental thing in the track's history, and there's hardly even a record of it, which is a little bit mind-boggling.
Right.
But anyways, that is your nostalgia nugget of the week. it's time for us to go down to the bullpen because we know Rob, he likes to start some pretty in-depth discussions. That's how he rolls.
Philosophical.
Yeah.
All right, people. A lot of rainouts, but we still got some spicy content here on the Northeast Performance Parts Stat Chat. Let me get right into it.
All right. Giddy up.
There was a Cup Series race in Chicago this weekend. Did y'all know about that? I know sometimes it's kind of shrouded here.
When you say Cup Series, is that like Fendered cars? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So the race ended when a caution was thrown for a wreck involving Cody Ware. But it was thrown 40 seconds, I think something like that, 35 seconds after it happened.
It was in the 30s.
Yeah, and it was possibly one of the most violent wrecks I've ever seen, at least since I started watching Cup. He went from 100 miles an hour to a dead stop.
Lost brakes.
Into the wall.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if Remy, if you could even find the clip that quickly, but it is a devastating wreck, and they waited to throw the caution until after the white was taken. So let me ask you guys this. Are there any circumstances where it is excusable to hold a yellow when there is an accident on the track that is obviously not going to clear up?
No.
So let me get this right. They waited for the cars across the line to get the white flag,
So
then threw the yellow.
It appeared that way.
NASCAR, from what I think I saw, said they didn't know if Cody could back out on his own and if they didn't want to throw the caution too early just in case he could back away because I guess they didn't realize the severity of the
Are
accident.
you guys calling BS on this? I
mean,
didn't see it.
They claimed that they didn't know how hard it was or that the car was there.
With today's technology?
And I'm just thinking, well, then something's got to be changed. If that's the case, then they need to immediately be looking, how can we change this?
They should have.
They
They should have thrown the yellow.
They should have thrown it. I mean,
immediately.
The
Yeah.
wreck was
White flag or
absolutely-
not, it was a bad hit.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I watched a clip from Denny Hamlin's podcast, and he was basically saying like NASCAR would never admit to it, but like there was a lot of factors. There was rain coming. There was a really bad storm.
Right.
That there was a chance that if they kept getting cautions, because there's a chance that it might after that, it was just like, no, we just need to get it over with.
Yeah.
But
They
they would never fully admit that.
They have rain tires for that event.
They
though.
do.
Yeah.
So,
But if
They
it's
do.
a bad storm where there's lightning, they still can't race.
yeah, but they can still wait it out another 30, 40 minutes and get back out there on rain tires and finish the last 2 laps or whatever. I think the fans would have liked to see that instead of a yellow flag finish.
I
Right.
agree with that.
I got a question
statement.
for you guys that
Yes.
were watching the race because I didn't get a chance to observe it. Would the caution and a green-white checker have benefited Priest?
It could go either way.
I mean, was he moving
Is that how we're
forward?
determining it?
Well, I know
he
it
was,
no,
he
but
was
I'm just
pretty
saying.
stable.
Right.
He was
'Cause
pretty stable.
Lately, he's been really dominant late in runs at every track. Like he's always the aggressor instead of playing defense. And I didn't know if that was the case in this road course race or not.
No, the thing with road courses, especially a street course like that where it's so narrow and tight, green-white checkers are a toss-up because they can just bully each other around. And
Yeah.
Priest
Yeah.
could easily get spun out from 5th, or he could end up with the lead. So
Yeah.
you can't really say if it would have benefited him or not.
Yeah.
But they should have thrown the caution out with the severity of the accident alone.
Yeah.
that
Well,
Cody-
they
like,
should
it was
have.
a massive impact.
Like, if they don't, and I mean, they don't, I guess, owe it really to anybody, as fans to clear it up. But, like, in my opinion, this could easily turn into one of the biggest black eyes that they've had in a while.
So what was the question again? I forgot. We got off. It was. I forgot where we were at. So your question was like, should they have thrown the yellow
right.
immediately?
Well, in this
right?
instance, I think they should have thrown it. But there are many times where there's a big wreck. It's at like the back of the field or whatever, and they don't throw it, right? For like let's say at Daytona, there's a huge wreck,
Yeah.
and there's half a lap to go. Like, many instances, they'll decide to throw it.
Well,
At the 500 this year, they didn't.
They
throw
decided
the
to
yellow
not throw it.
and half the field wrecked.
Right. But let me reiterate this. If we had mandated green flag finishes, if it's caution comes out and the white flag, we try it again, it almost wouldn't be a conversation.
Troy, what
Because
were you
they
gonna
would just
say?
throw the caution.
yeah, I didn't see this, but I think it's happened. So at short tracks, at the last lap, the leaders are in 3 and there's a wreck like in 2, for
Right.
the guys in the back. I think I've seen it where they throw the checker and then they throw the yellow.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know
Yeah.
if that's
Right.
if this applies here.
Well, NASCAR has like they freeze it though, don't they have like
freeze? Yeah,
markers all
There's
around it?
scoring loops.
Yes.
But once they take the white flag, if a caution comes
It's
out
over.
on
It's
the last
over.
lap, the
It's
race is
over.
over.
Yeah.
Which at a road course like that is kind of silly. in my opinion.
Remy's got the clip. if you
I
want
do
to.
have the in-car clip of just showing it.
Okay, well, take a look.
That's his brake rotor exploding.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you see him bouncing off the wall trying to slow his
See,
car
yeah.
down?
Slow down.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, he was-
and they waited to throw the yellow for almost 40
Dude,
seconds.
And-
there's no way he's
Yeah.
backing out of that.
And he also said on the radio, like, I need help.
Yeah, he was
And-
hurting.
Yeah. So, like, to me, if you don't throw the caution there, it's almost like a big warning sign that the caution really no longer only means, like, there's danger. Like, we need to stop the race. We need to help somebody. Like, it gives the appearance
That's
that
a valid
now
point.
they only really care about it to, like, move the show along.
Right.
I mean, they kind of have slippery sloped into that with the stage cautions and all the semantics around the
Hey.
yellow flag finishes. They've got themselves in a little bit of a hole with this.
It's their sandbox.
I know. I mean, it is. But, like, how do you explain this to someone who asks, why didn't you throw it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hate yellow flag finishes more than anybody else, but you can't put driver safety on
just
the line.
can't.
You
Not
can't,
like that.
You can't assume in that hit that somebody's okay. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta err on the side of caution, no pun intended there. But yeah,
I agree.
they should have thrown the yellow immediately there. That's not even a debate in my opinion. No offense to your question, Rob.
No, I mean, that's kind of the answer I was hoping for, because
Yeah.
I have the same opinion. Anyway, also referring to Chicago, somewhat, should racing emphasize new markets, or should they stick with what works for the time being? In other words, should we be looking really at broadening the horizons, or are we kind of still trying to keep the diehard base? Like, is that the main concern right now?
It's obviously a blend.
I think they have gone outside, like racing in Mexico, right? Racing at the Coliseum, Chicago,
Right.
right? They're pulling all these tracks.
But should that be the focus, or should it be like, get back to the Rock? I mean, they brought North Wilkesboro back. That's the contrary.
I don't know statistics, but I don't feel like it's probably working. I don't know.
Would it?
What's
but-
not working?
Well, I don't know if it's working that they're reaching out to the person, if they're trying to reach out to a person. I mean, maybe the Chicago track, maybe it is to the locals. I don't know, to the core hardcore race fan like myself, like I just want to get back. I wish they would get back to the nitty gritty of racing, like good short track racing, like the old Earnhardt days. I know that's probably long
Yeah,
gone,
it's never gonna happen.
but you know what I mean? Like
No, it's a purist angle. Right.
So short track racing, but is that short track racing anywhere, even in those newer markets?
Yeah, I mean, even if it's in those newer markets, I don't really want a gimmick race, right? I don't want a gimmick race. I don't want to go to Europe. Everybody put their cars on a boat and let's go to Europe and race. I mean, that's just me.
Right.
But that's the next thing, like NFL, right? They're always trying to draw.
That's what I was going to
true.
bring
Yeah.
up.
Yep,
That's
they're
true.
always trying to draw in new people. I mean, if there's so many things in the world to do today, if you're not into racing, to me, racing's kind of a dying sport, except for us diehards.
right.
And so you're trying to ask some kid that plays Xbox all day to come to the racetrack. It's probably not going to happen.
Right. And like you said, I mean, dying sport, it's a very forward way to put it. But yes, it is a sport that is going to need to ask hard questions soon. They're going to have to recalibrate. I don't know if it's as much about should they go for the new fan as how should they go for the new fan.
How?
I mean, I don't
Right.
know if like a Chicago street race. I mean, with that, you're almost, I feel like, shoving away your diehard high banked oval guys, and not even necessarily appealing to the younger guys. Like, take a look at the advertising. There's a lot of different other things you could do besides going to random venues like that.
My perspective. Sorry, go Remy. Go ahead.
I think it could also be a mixture of things because I was watching the Chicago on my phone and I was hanging out with friends and they were like, not at all would ever watch NASCAR, but they got intrigued and all were like around my phone. So I think it's just you have to find what people might like. I think some people might like the street courses if they're like into IndyCar.
Right.
So
I mean,
But-
I had the same experience, though, but I was watching the Atlanta race, which is a completely different style of racing, and people were like, this is one of the best races I've ever seen.
I liked it.
Like, I think
Me
it's
too.
more about the delivery. I think getting more races on Prime and streaming services and, in people's face, like if they could get something like that WWE Netflix deal, That, in my opinion, is going to do way more for the sport than dragging them to a Chicago street course
But
or Mexico City.
I like the Chicago street course. I like Mexico. I like the Coliseum. I like them trying new things because 15, 20 years ago, people would complain about how monotonous the schedule was because it was the same every year. That midsummer stretch where it was Michigan, Pocono, Indy, those races that everyone found boring as could be, they hated that. Now they've changed it up. And for me, I'm from Maryland. There's not much racing in Maryland. So for me, I thought about going to Richmond. It's 3 hours away, but I wanted to go to a race. They were just really freaking expensive back then because NASCAR was so much more popular.
Yeah.
Right.
But having that chance to go to a Richmond or a Dover or being up here, I never went to a NASCAR race until I went to Stafford. And then eventually I got a chance to go to Loudon for the first time because that was the closest racetrack really I had ever been to on the national level. Look at Lime Rock. Lime Rock was phenomenal. The crowd showed out for that event.
For
and
sure.
that's just for a truck and ARCA event.
Yeah, right, right.
They showed out. They
that place
were
is
everywhere.
beautiful, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think there is a potential to try new places in different spots of the country, like the Pacific Northwest or New England. There's not a whole. I mean, you got Watkins Glen. That always does well.
Well, I got a quick question for you then. Do you think? My other concern is that they're trying so hard to reach somebody that's about racing.
Yeah, maybe never gonna like it.
But instead of going after their hardcore fan and bringing them to the racetrack and their kids to the racetrack, versus trying to reach somebody that may or may not go, or that just got executive ticks because they sponsored the event. Let's go into the press box and watch the race.
Right.
Well, I'll say this. Sorry, Remy.
No, it's okay. You'll go and I'll quickly.
I'll say this. The hardcore base. How old is that hardcore base?
Well, that's the problem. It's getting old.
They're pretty old.
It's getting old, but they have kids.
And the kids, but they're not filling that void as much as they probably want to, right?
Yeah,
Otherwise,
100%.
that age wouldn't be so high.
Yeah.
So how else can you gain new fans? You have to branch out.
Yeah.
So, you got to take care of your base, but that average age of viewership is rising ever so slightly every year, but it accumulates. And there's no one below the age of a certain number, just so I don't offend people, that fill that void and make up for that gap of the older age people going away.
Yeah.
So you got to do something. And that's every sport does that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's not just racing. So I don't fault them for trying it. You have to give it a shot and see how it goes over time. You can't just let one event decide, did it work, did it not work?
I actually like the Coliseum.
Let Remy go. She's been
I
chomping
do
at the bit.
also have to say, we were talking about something new. Remember when we were talking crap about the in bracket?
The
stuff?
tournament challenge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the drivers are having fun.
that was
I feel like
advertised well.
it's very
That was sold well.
interesting too, watching it play out and it's still playing out. You just have to
Is that
see
what's
how it
happening
goes.
right now, the brackets? Is that what you're
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah,
I don't
we're at
even know.
round 3.
I didn't even know what that was about, honestly.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this conversation.
Well, I said, you don't like NASCAR?
I mean, none of this is changing my opinion.
Well, Sid, what would they have to
Stop,
do
dude,
to make you
stop.
like
Don't
it? What would they have
start
to-
again.
what
What
would
can I
they-
tell you? It's got no interest at all.
I know you're like.
I don't care if
you're
they
like
race in
over
the
there
Grand
like-
Canyon. I'm like, is Stafford on flow tonight? Whatever.
True story. True story.
Oh,
I will give Remy the kudos for bringing up that point. The midseason bracket challenge does add a little intrigue compared to not having
does it
something.
though? I mean,
I
to me,
don't
it
even
just
care.
asked if it's actually happening.
Is it even
Like,
happening right
doesn't-
now? I didn't even know what's
Who
going
cares?
on.
Have
with
you
it.
been watching?
Well,
the
I see
bracket?
Priest talking about so and so. We're going to knock.
So you
him.
haven't been watching.
No, not really. It doesn't interest me. I don't know why.
Right. It's not.
It's like watching the NBA having a mid-season tournament. Like seriously, like
Also
who cares?
stupid.
Who
Right.
cares about that?
I don't mind the bracket.
Yeah, but you're
And it
going to
doesn't-
watch it whether there's a bracket or not.
Yeah, but if I didn't like the bracket, I would say it. But I don't mind it because it doesn't affect the big picture.
Yeah, but isn't the point of those to bring in new fans?
Is that what
That
they're trying
I don't
to do?
know. I think
I
don't
would
know
think
if that's
so,
the-
no?
I'm not sure what the goal of that is specifically. I haven't looked into detail that
mean,
much.
I
I
would
feel
think-
like it would add fans from basketball. It would be all right, they're doing their own little March Madness kind
I
of
don't
thing.
know.
That's
I don't know.
what
I
I
don't
think they
I don't
would
think
be
that's going to be the
doing.
thing to do it. They almost need a full aesthetic revamp. Like, if they want to get that audience, they got a lot more work to do than adding a mid-season bracket.
Can I tell you how confused I am?
Yeah, go.
I'm like, I'm going to put on Chicago. I forgot where I was at.
Yeah.
Put on Amazon, hitting Prime. They're like, oh, you got to upgrade to Amazon Max. $16.99 a month.
Oh, for the in-cars?
Amazon Max.
I'm like, son of a bitch, Amazon is doing this now? I already paid the Prime rate. Little did I know the race was on TNT.
Yes.
Wow.
We're back on cable.
Right, I had no idea. And I'm like, oh, now they got Amazon Max. I got to pay this.
That's another growing issue. I don't want them to get too, like, you're going to spread it too thin. If you go they already have 4 different streaming services, 5.
It was
Count the
worse.
in-cars.
All right,
It was worse back in the
I
90s.
can't talk about NASCAR anymore. What else we got going on? Please. I'm sorry. We gotta carry on.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we got one more here.
All right.
Should tracks plan big events around struggling divisions to draw more cars, or give those bigger events to divisions that already have large established fields?
Large established fields.
Yeah. This is kind of like the Crown Vic 40-lap race thing, isn't it?
Serious.
Right.
Yeah.
But what is considered a large established field?
I don't know if 15
I think it's
cars.
all relative.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to put an arbitrary number on it, but, you know, if you've got like a division, it's like, oh, they're kind of struggling. Like, maybe we should give them a big night, big purse. Or do you just say, well, I know 30 cars are going to show up for this race. Let's make it an 80-lapper because we know they're going to have a banging show.
It's so hard to plan that out because the races are set far before we know the car counts.
Yeah,
but,
you kind of have a feel for it, though.
yeah. I mean, who would have thought?
Yeah, but
street
do you?
stocks would have
Because-
Not
eight
really,
cars?
because people do show up for that one event,
Yeah, but-
and you can't really predict that per se.
yeah,
Yeah, but the street stock race at the Bowl, they had a 50-lapper. It didn't draw any more cars. It had 6 cars, and they kept it at 50 laps. But last year they had the 100-lapper for the late models, which was drawing like 8 or 9 cars, 7 or 8, 9 cars, and it drew what, 19?
19.
Right.
So that's the same track having extra distance race for 2 divisions that have hurting car counts with 2 completely different results.
Right. Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking the question.
So
I mean,
how do you even there's no consistency there.
Yeah,
I think you got to give each division a chance,
yeah.
no matter what. Just give them a chance, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
That's a good point. So like maybe like next year, if the street stock still had, so would you just not put a street stock 50-lapper on the schedule because it didn't draw anything last year?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, but then what if they change the rules and they have 18 cars in opening day?
Yeah, right.
Okay, if they change the rules, that's a whole different story. But
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
It's such a
I
tough question.
don't know how it's gonna
I don't
happen.
know, man. You know, I think to the late models' benefit, there's more of those type of cars lingering within a 100-mile radius.
That was going to be my point.
Versus
a Waterford street stock.
super stock.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
really, they go to
Yep.
Stafford, they're a limited late.
100%.
So is it really a street stock?
Right.
Yeah, I mean Nick Farlino's saying every division deserves a chance. I mean, that's a nice sentiment, but nobody wants to watch 6 street stocks for 50 laps. That's a bad race.
Right.
True story.
And it can almost be so bad to the point where people are almost going to be even more negatively affected by it versus you just not having the race. Like, you're not going to see a 6-lap 50-car race and think, maybe I do want to run this. Maybe I do want to watch this now.
Well, it's been brought up before on race day. If you know there's only 6 cars, then you could trim the laps down
Or cut
and
it in
keep
half.
the purse.
Yeah, I mean, Mitch is right. I mean, same thing. You cut the laps down. The cars
Yeah.
aren't there. Just cut the laps. That's
You
it.
could do that. I don't think the teams would complain
Do you,
about that.
do you cut the purse?
No.
No, you can't do
we,
that.
We discussed this a
We
million
discussed
times.
this
You can't
last
cut
week.
the purse.
Yeah.
That'd be really bad. The drivers would lose
Rob
a lot
wants
of
to cut it
trust.
to like a heat race length. He
Yeah,
wants to cut it
6
to like
laps.
15
Dude,
laps.
if 6 cars show up, I don't want to watch that for more than 15 laps. I'm sorry.
No, but their regular distance is 25. You can't cut it to less than that.
And
It
to be
has
fair-
to be at least 25, if not 30.
How about if they just did like in the street stock? So you know how Plemons and Hadley are like kind of superior Ikes. What if they just did like I know this is going to sound real
You want
stupid.
like a match race?
Let's just do like an enduro start. Okay, you start here off of 2. You start here off of 4. When I wave the green, everybody nails the gas.
I can get with it. Like,
Right?
I would watch
All right,
that.
let's
I would
see
show up to
those
watch
guys.
that.
Yeah,
Try
fine
to
with
catch
that.
those guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, well, that's a very interesting conclusion to a very interesting stat chat. I'll tell you that.
Listen, the stat chat is always very interesting. We
Yep.
love it. All
Yeah,
right.
Damn right.
This could be the longest show of the season, people. I hope you're being entertained because
But it's 8:15.
we got a lot to go still.
Oh my
Dang.
All right, it's time for a little Did You Know? Come on. All right, huge shout out to our friends over there at Broadbrook Heating and Cooling for another tremendous Did You Know segment. So I did as much. This is a hard thing to verify. I think I did a pretty solid job, and I'm pretty confident when I'm saying this. I'm pretty sure Aaron and Brandon Plemons are the first father and son duo to win on the same night in Speedbowl history.
No shot.
They previously both won races during the 2018 season, when they each won twice. Brandon in the trucks and Aaron was in the Super X cars back then. Now, while researching this, I did find a quite a solid list of drivers, father and son duos, who did it in the same season. Bob Gaeta and Michael Gaeta, 78-79. Bob Gaeta and Bobby Gaeta, who was in the Super Stocks, 1982. Bruce Thomas and Bruce Thomas Jr. in the Mini Stocks, 1999-2001. How about Charlie Pastriak in the Legend car and Chris Pastriak in the SK Modifieds in 2003? Mm-hmm. Silas Hiscock and Silas Hiscock Jr. You know what that means?
That's what she said.
Silence is what?
They both ran Legend cars in 2004. Kurt D'Addario and Kurt D'Addario Jr. in the X cars. Greg Moran and Greg Moran Jr. in the Super X cars, 2008. How about this one? Ray Christian and Soup Savardi, who was his stepfather at the time in the Mini Stocks, and his mother, Kathy Savardi, all won races in 2008.
Cool.
Wow.
Tom Abley Sr. won an X-Car race, and Tom Abley Jr. won a SK Modified race in 2011. Ken Cassidy Sr. won a Super X-Car race, and Kenny Jr. in the Mini Stocks in 2011. Ed Pulio in the SKs, and John Pulio in 2014 in the Bandoleros. And Sean Monahan in the Streeters and Brody in the Bandoleros in 2018. There are probably more, but I ran out of time to research them. But
It's a really cool stat.
it's a cool stat, and that they both did it on the same day that's a good night
And
for the Plemons family.
Brandon was super happy. Like I've been racing with Brandon a long time.
Yep.
Really cool dude. Fun guy in the pit area.
Yeah.
And he was hyped.
He's a solid, crafty veteran
Oh,
of
yeah.
like the North Pit vibes.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No
for
doubt.
sure.
Everybody
Yep.
loves some Brandon.
All right, Diego, get yourself ready now. We had one of the best impressions in the history of Earth last week for the viewer mail, but we're glad you're back, buddy.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
We got some doozies
Well,
today.
I got to thank Ed Marcel, Firewood and Land Clearing for this. Do we call it segment? I always do that. Of
No,
viewer
you
mail.
call it episode or something.
Episode
Yeah, it is a
segment.
segment. You call it something stupid.
Okay.
Dang.
All right.
Excuse me. This is my time. Okay.
Yep.
Here we go. You guys ready for this?
We're ready.
As always, Bonssa is just being further vindicated right here.
Yep.
Which NEMA series do you guys prefer to see at the London Waterford Speedbowl? The lights or the full midgets? Do you guys know anything about the All-Star Pavement Midget Series out at IRP? And the last one, who's your favorite NEMA light and full NEMA driver and why? And that's from Dylan the Racer. So thank you, Dylan.
I think it's Dylan Kutu, probably.
Kutu?
Maybe.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely the lights
Yep.
because they don't have to get push started.
Exactly what I
that's
was
the
gonna
game
say.
changer right there, all day long. Yeah, I don't know if I have.
I wish there was more lights because they were just there
There's a
last.
decent amount of
Was
them,
there? I
aren't
thought
there?
last week. Yeah, I know. I wish. I remember seeing like 25 at one time. And it,
How many did they have?
I don't know. They probably had 15 or maybe less. I thought.
Yeah, I forget what it was.
And usually the Cabrals and their cars
Yeah.
dominate all
Yeah.
the time.
Well, it's the Bertrand.
Oh, the Bertrands,
Yeah, the
yeah.
Bertrand family's got the car, but Cabral runs for him, and
Yeah.
Avery Store runs for him,
yeah.
and so they've won. Yeah, they've won a gazillion races in those.
Watching them start mid-pack and carve their way through the field.
Yeah.
Like in that division, everything happens quick.
So fast.
They are flying around that
Yeah.
track, every track.
Well, so
and
nimble.
With 18 of them,
Yeah.
there's not much room. They're 3-4 wide at the start. And
I
somehow
don't-
these fast guys always make their way through, and a lot of these races go green to checker
I don't
and
think-
last 5 minutes.
Do they have mirrors?
I don't know. Do they have spotters?
They don't have spotters.
they
Nothing.
don't.
It's always sketchy to me.
That's insane. How they
Right,
do that.
it is, and they like come whipping up alongside of these guys. I'm like, dude, he had no idea you were there.
Yeah.
I feel like in those cars, they're just so tight. You can weave back and forth like 5 times down the straightaway, right? Like whenever I see them at Waterford, I'm just amazed at the handling of them.
Yeah.
They fly.
I
around
enjoy
that track.
watching the Nemo lights, honestly.
Yeah.
I really enjoy. I remember back in there. I don't know if they still do it, but like I don't know if you ever watched them, Troy. But like the left front wheel would come off this high off the ground. It'd be like, "Wah," and the left front tire, thing would almost be ripping a wheelie off the corner. Man, it was so cool to watch.
You know, just real quick, a little NEMA or midget history. The amazing thing I remember learning when I did the Speedbowl doc was they had a what was called AAA, which is the same like the AAA, the car service.
Yep.
Well, they used to sanction auto races, and in the Speedbowl's first season, 1951, they had a race at the Speedbowl, and that was a big deal because AAA sponsored the Indy 500 then.
Oh wow!
And so they had a midget race with a bunch of people that were in the Indy 500 that year, which is kind of a big deal. NEMA started a couple of years after that, but yeah, the midgets now is the prestige of that has kind of lowered now, and it's really just a core group of racers, I think, that are kind of keeping that history alive, and they do a good job with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
That Midwestern series, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, me either. I'm not too much on any of that open. I know you guys, Fro talks about it often, these indie racing leagues and whatever else is going on. And
IRL.
Indie racing.
whatever they,
What a throwback.
what do they call them now?
IndyCar.
IndyCar, whatever. I don't watch any of that stuff, and I don't. And I know my boy Nick sometimes says he's going to go home and watch practice for some of those open wheel races. I'm like, I just can't get with it for some reason. I'm not sure. Good job, Sid.
I mean, you just missed the shot of
And
the
you
century.
want him to drive a car?
Continue on with the show.
I
Go
would
ahead.
love to see him drive a car.
After
All right,
that
you ready?
shot? No.
Here's the next question from Samuel. On the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour, the Modified Tri-Track Series, and the SK Modified divisions at Stafford Speedway, what division do you think has the deepest pool of competition, and which division do you think is the most difficult to win a championship in?
Every week, SK's at Stafford.
That was also my take.
Monaco Modifieds have phenomenal competition, at the Connecticut tracks. They get 30 cars and you can say 15 have a chance to win. But when they go up north, they have 15 cars and 10 have a chance to win. SK's at Stafford every week, 60% of the field can win.
I think the hardest to win a championship is what pushes me towards SKs there.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll see a guy get into a rhythm, 3-4 wins. You're like, oh, this is the guy. No one's beating him. And then you never see him again for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I would say
I don't
SKs.
know. I don't know. I guess so. What do you think, Troy?
I wonder what he thinks.
Yeah, what do you think? I mean, you run the division every week.
Yeah, I can only speak for the Stafford SK. I know how tough it is. I can't speak for the Tri-Track and the Whelen Tour. I imagine that's just as hard.
It's got to be just as hard, right?
yeah,
I mean,
it
the
is, for
competition
sure.
level for the Monaco series is just ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, if you went, if you just rattled through the points, which is what I did, the star power to me is in the touring divisions, but it's hard to argue what Bonssa was saying. Like, Matt Hirschman's won almost every Monaco championship, and Justin's been pretty dominant the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And it's not like that with the SKs necessarily. So,
And
they don't draw all the Thunder Road and the White Mountain events. They don't get the same amount of cars as they do with Thompson and Stafford. So, when you don't have that scenario with Stafford. So, on a consistency basis, I guess you got to give them the nod.
Yeah, I guess I have to do that because it sure the hell is fun to watch.
And that's not to discredit the Monaco Modifieds and the Whelen Modified Tour.
Right.
They're their own beasts for their own reason.
Right.
It's just tough to stay consistent for 20, 25 weeks like you
It
can.
is
the
amazing.
SKs.
I mean, if you sit back here and think on how competitive that division is.
Yeah.
I mean, how good? I mean, listen, Troy races. How good is Mikey Christopher to rail off 3 wins? I mean, it looks like he's untouchable right now, but so did Di Matteo last year. Everybody, I don't know what it is. Why do they go through these streaks? I mean, I guess that's for another show, but it shows how competitive you could be, masterful, and then a 12th place car.
With the SKs, right? Especially because everybody starts on very similar tires, the handicap will mess you up. And if you're starting deep in the field, You got to pass 15 guys in front of you that are basically going to be running almost the same speed, which is
Christopher
not
did it.
easy.
He did it last
listen,
week.
that conversation.
Can I just one last point? There is 17 different drivers that have started every single race at Stafford this year, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drivers that have started every Monaco race.
Okay.
And I would think that it's probably about the same in NASCAR. I haven't looked it up, but they have the worst car counts of all three. So.
And I think another mark is at the end of the season, look how many different SK modified drivers get a top 5 and top 10.
Yep.
It's a lot.
You almost scroll through the whole list before you see one that doesn't have it.
All right. SK's win. Next one.
Go.
This is from my buddy.
You can give us what's his name?
Kevin Gamagorda.
Oh yeah, we know that guy.
Past champ. Good guy.
All right.
Beautiful race cars.
Yes,
I love
indeed.
his cars. You see the chrome on them?
Get to the
All
question.
right.
Will you?
Oh, Lord. You and Chrome.
I would like to hear your guys' opinion on who should be considered a rookie, particularly in the street stock division. I don't know how many other tracks how other tracks handle it, or if they even have rookies of the year. But I believe at Stafford a few seasons ago, drivers like Larry Barnett, Al Stone were labeled as rookies. Right? It's kind of weird, right?
It's totally weird.
It's weird. This year we have a couple of true rookies, as well as a few drivers with experience and wins around the region that are considered as rookies. I would love to hear your discussion on this. Asking for a friend. Well, I know who you're asking for, Kevin, and it's a valid point. It's a very valid point. I mean, how could
Brent Gleason's not a rookie?
Sean Monahan showed up there? He's not a rookie,
Nope.
right?
Larry Barnett's not a rookie.
Larry Barnett's not a rookie.
I mean,
What is a rookie?
The only thing that I can say in their defense is that Stafford is, and maybe Troy can attest this because I haven't ran many laps. It's a technical kind of track. So even though you have experience racing, it's a very technical track, I think, to get used to. It may take you weeks to get into the groove of things there.
Yeah. My question is, this rookie status, it's not like, it's not a touring series. It's a track. So is the rookie status applying to that track, or should other track experience factor in to being denoted a rookie or not? I can see why Gleason is considered a rookie because he never raced full-time at Stafford. He's only had a few starts beforehand coming into this year. So
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's track specific.
Call,
That's a
man.
good question.
Like, I feel like you got to simply.
What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. So if it's like, I can't think of anybody. Well, so Timmy Jordan, right? Has he ever raced full time at Stafford?
No.
I don't think so.
So
no.
if he comes, he's a rookie, right?
Right.
Just by
But
the letter of the law. You know?
he is, and I think he's a rookie against all you guys that have been running there for years.
Yeah.
To me.
right.
Right, he's at a complete disadvantage.
So you think that Brent Gleason
I
is a
don't
rookie?
know. No, he's
you
not
think
a- I don't know.
Larry Barnett's a rookie.
No.
He goes to Stafford.
No.
He's
Well,
a rookie. Give me a break.
but
I don't know.
what do we
I don't know the right answer.
What's the
here.
criteria?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. What do we classify as a rookie?
No,
if you-
Stafford's criteria is they haven't raced at this track. They're a rookie. But to me, it's, I don't look at it at just Stafford. I look at it as a fan of racing. And Larry Barnett goes there for the first time, and he's got 17 million freaking wins and 12 championships at Thompson. He's not a rookie in a street stock.
Right.
But you got to have something concrete.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't just say, oh, this guy did this really well, but not have a concrete, specific circumstance or
So-
number.
Like
So
how
when
you do there, do you
Justin-
say if you
so-
have like X amount of wins or
Yeah.
starts at other tracks,
right.
say you
number
can't
of
qualify?
years. Yeah.
So when Justin Bonsignor came and drove an SK for Art Berry for a couple of years, that first year he was a rookie.
I mean, yeah, he was a rookie in the SK at Stafford.
I mean, come on.
I don't. I mean,
But,
I
like,
think
okay,
it's the
if you-
easiest and most straightforward way to define it.
If you think it's the wrong answer, what is the right answer?
That he's not a rookie.
Yeah.
So what classifies a rookie then?
A rookie.
Somebody that's never
that's
driven
a bad
that
answer.
car
That's a
in
bad
their
answer.
career.
Somebody that's moving, I don't know.
I mean, look,
Remember-
if
hold on.
you show up to Stafford, you want to declare a rookie season, I think it should be, all right, how many starts have you made at this division at this track? Okay, you haven't made that many starts? Well, you can declare this season your rookie season. I mean, that's cut and dry.
That's a slippery slope.
How's it slippery?
So Keith Rocco stops racing SKs and decides to go SK light racing next year. He's going to be a rookie.
Well, I think that's a little different.
John Andretti did something similar. I think in 2006.
Who did that?
John Andretti.
Remember he went to that 10-car PPC racing
In the Busch Series?
Yeah, I think he won Rookie of the Year.
How little you know me, Troy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Do I remember that?
Was he Rookie of the Year?
I don't know. Look it up. I think so.
But I
he
think
was in
there's
that 43 car for a million years, right?
He was for a while. I think there's a difference in what you're saying, Sid, because it's same track, different division, especially going technically down a division. But if you're from a different racetrack and you're coming in, I mean, you don't want to make the rules too complicated.
I think you have to go by Stafford's guidelines, and whatever they state is it.
I mean, whatever the rule is the rule. Everybody plays by the same, right?
That's right. I mean,
but that's my opinion. If Larry Barnett went there after years of dominating at Thompson and he's got wins at Waterford in a street stock, and he just because he's never raced at Stafford, he's a rookie. That's not.
You don't buy it.
I don't buy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the question.
That was a
Kevin.
spicy one. I'm with it.
Okay, you ready for this next one?
Yep.
This is really not a question, but a comment. A discussion about Wednesday divisions moving and merging to Saturday nights division wouldn't be a good idea. Wednesday guys surprisingly don't want to run Saturday nights. For us, we get the weekends to work on our car and have weekends off. What do racers do at night during the week anyways? We work on the car and have the weekends off. So why would we go weekend racing? I know the ownership likes the Wednesday night racing, whether it makes money or not. Yes, I agree the Super X is definitely a 90s street stock, but the move to a different night wouldn't help car counts. I don't know, man. I
don't agree with that.
I've heard that argument, though, that moving to weekends wouldn't help them.
Dude, I just had this comment, and I think I was talking to my brother or somebody the other day, because of the amount of divisions. And I don't know what the cure for the street stocks is because it's so out of control. Wednesday night cars are closer to a Stafford street stock than Waterford street stocks are, I
far
think.
closer,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, so either, we got to figure out something here to merge them. And whether there's penalties or weight breaks, eventually, they'll just go like this. Do you not agree or disagree?
Practically, it's not going to work, in my opinion.
I don't know. So either, I don't know how.
Well, the thing with Pete, and I mean, listen, he loves himself some Wednesday shows. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But it's not that just because if a majority of them felt the way he did, that meant it would be a failure if they like. The point would be to draw people from other tracks as well in other areas, or people that just have their street stock sitting in their garage because they don't like the rules.
Yeah.
And they can't race on Wednesday. They want to race on Saturday.
Yeah.
It's not just the people in the Super X car division would save the street stock division and only them. You would make those changes to draw more than just the Super X cars.
Yeah, 100%. I almost can't see like the argument for not having a Saturday because people want to work on their cars on the weekend. I mean, can't you make an argument for probably a wider group of people who would say, well, I can't race on a Wednesday.
I mean, what would
let alone work on my car? Like,
what would they do? I mean, what are you going to do if somebody comes in? Let's just hypothetically say somebody comes into the Speedbowl with a brand new agenda and running the place next year. Just hypothetical.
Yeah.
And says, hey, this is what's going to happen because we're hurting, right? And we're not. And I understand his point about not making money on Wednesdays, but we're going to do something different so that there's a lot of asses in the seat when we're racing cars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You think those guys like Pete that wrote the letter, they're not going to quit because they're racers.
No.
Right? But we've walked around this question a lot this year and what to do.
I think Pete's saying like, we're not going anywhere. The owner says we're still racing here, so get over it.
Right.
That's what Pete's telling us.
Yeah, that's what he's telling us. I mean, it's a very valid question because I discussed this on my off time with people.
I mean, regardless of whether or not you want to merge the divisions, if you brought the Super X guys to the Saturday stage, like that would be a must-see event on the Saturdays.
I think it would be a good event.
Well, aren't they going to be at Waterford this weekend?
I think they are this Saturday.
Yeah, they are.
And they put on a great. I don't go Wednesdays just because I have a lot going on, but I'm looking forward to watching some good old street stock racing.
I mean, it'd be
with like 15
see.
cars.
Like, do you think more will show up because it's on a Saturday? I mean,
I've
that's
heard that
that
wouldn't be the case, though. That's the thing. I've heard that argument that the Wednesday drivers would not be as common on Saturdays.
Right. That's
what I've heard.
Yeah, that's what Pete's saying.
That's what Pete's basically saying.
Yeah.
So what if they go down to 9 cars?
Well, then I guess he's right.
You don't think they're going to show up? I mean, they have cars and they're competitive. They're staying home now.
And when you say merging divisions, what do you merge? Super X and Street Stocks?
Yeah.
I mean, they're similar. I mean,
you have to Street Stocks. You would have to say you got to go to these new Street Stocks, which are basically the old Super X cars, or go to late model racing.
I mean, would it be easier for them to convert to a late model at this point than like a traditional street stock?
Or convert them to trucks.
Yep.
Right.
Or you can go truck racing.
Just convert them to trucks. You know, you guys put a truck body on your car, figure it out, because that's what you're close to. Because we got all these divisions that are really close.
How about Bandoleros and what about them? Are they going to be on Saturday too? So that's going to make it what, 9-10 divisions?
No. So you know what happens with them?
Take them out.
Nope. They go Saturday morning.
Saturday morning?
Yeah, we have a early event. 2 days a week, two weekends a year, or something like that. 2 weekends a month, where all the officials come in early and the kids get to race before the big show starts.
Right. I would be interested to see what the car count is Saturday because
that's just a thought.
I mean, the live chat is basically saying less on Saturday.
They do think so, but what would it be the same if
again,
they declared it as Saturday racing for the whole season? Because like obviously there's going to be some guys who have their schedule planned around Wednesday race night and don't want to give up a weekend day. Like I understand
Nick Ferlino's busy on the chat. He'd be there. He's getting faster and faster every week. He is
again. It wouldn't be about just having the Super X cars. Just those drivers only replace the street stocks.
The goal is that you net some of the Stafford guys, right?
But,
I mean, eventually.
Well, not even Stafford guys. Just anybody else that would want to race an actual street stock.
Yeah. Right.
But do you also get more divisions the day off because there's more divisions on Saturday now? So do you give 3 divisions the night off?
What about like Larry Burnett and these guys that are tired of what's going on at Thompson?
Why can't you reel them up?
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
What a great conversation to have with a bunch of people that know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah. Like, what the hell are we doing?
Sort of.
All right, next question.
All right, here we go. Here's the last one, and it's a good one.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Bro, you ready for this one?
I'm always ready.
Okay. This is from my friend Max Zackham.
I know that guy.
Oh, nice.
Ching, ching. Okay. Starting 2026, you own the Waterford Speedbowl. Now, just put your guys, put that in your place.
Oh, this is nice.
I haven't dreamed about this for.
You've been dreaming. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have that I'm the cream of the crop.
Go ahead.
Okay. You have 5 things that you could change or improve to the facility. Budget doesn't matter.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
What would you do?
Repave the track.
1.
Build a tower.
2.
That's
it?
Make the street stocks.
3.
Granted, budget doesn't mean a whole lot there. Oh, geez. 2
Only
more.
3?
I mean, come on, Bonsa. There's
Come
one
on,
that's
you
so
go there
obvious
every
that we're
week.
missing here.
What, a
Audio.
broadcast?
You're a freaking announcer.
Broadcast?
Come on.
Like have an actual the audio equipment.
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's true. Yeah, the
That's
audio
4.
equipment. And the 5th one.
Oh, my wife's hot on it right now.
Yep. I mean, that's been the case for 40 years.
40 years.
Better drainage.
Well, yeah, for the potties.
Yeah, so if money is not an issue, then that means new bathrooms.
Oh,
which
bathrooms?
Is,
That's
Dude,
true.
I was in Stafford last week, and it was hot. AC was like
you just went to hang out in the bathroom to cool down?
It's nice in here.
That's a good point with the bathrooms.
It's nice in here.
Yeah.
I feel like drainage is important, though, because how many events has Waterford lost because of water seeping through the walls?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I would do? I would build, like Stafford has, but like a concession stand, overpass towards the bathrooms maybe, with like a press box up there for special events and try to team up a Mohegan Sun, if you could, and get some sort of deal going because they're right up the road. Just improving that way. And the bathrooms would be probably one at the top of the list, then the track, obviously, and the tower. And the lighting sucks too, if you must know. The lighting sucks at certain parts of the track. It just looks dark at night.
What about the pits? Would you repave the pits?
I don't think they can because of the town.
That's not true. They repaved them in 1988.
Oh, they did.
How about
I know the
North
dirt pits.
pits?
They can't. That's why they put that crush.
Yeah, but,
Yeah,
I would give the pits some love.
Yeah.
I mean, they said for the longest time they couldn't pave the access road behind the
Right.
backstretch. They eventually paved that with, so anything is possible. You could work with the town.
Yeah.
The town is not as anti-speedball as what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
You just can't, like with anything, I can't just, build some huge freaking building on my property without, the town being involved. It's just, how it works. But yeah, listen, that the bathrooms is a major issue. It has been. I mean, I've talked to, it's a current one now under Bruce. I've interviewed Terry about it. I interviewed the Quarterwags about it. I interviewed Dick Williams about it.
It was an issue all those
Dick
times.
Williams was operating the track in the late 70s and early 80s, and it was always an issue and a complaint.
Yep.
Do you
It's
remember
never
what my
really-
brother did?
No.
He brought in Finkel Day's portable trailer.
Yeah.
For maybe the whole season, there was a portable trailer there. I think on both sides,
Right.
AC. That was the bathrooms that he brought in.
Dude, Keeter's got the right idea. I mean, I wrote down bottom groove repave, fix the mic, repave the pits, bathrooms, and then the last thing I wrote was $10 million advertising budget.
I mean,
you want to really turn that place around long term?
You wouldn't even need $10 million.
No.
I mean, it's a blank check, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean-
500,000 would help.
It doesn't mean you have to waste money. I mean,
Yeah.
You don't need $10
but the point is well
I know
taken
what you're
on
saying,
where do you
though.
think
Right.
we need to go.
Yeah, I mean, if you can bring a full house of people to the stands every week, then a lot of problems will just start fixing itself.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah, it's great. I appreciate it. Ed Marcel, Firewood and Land Clearing for that segment of viewer mail.
another doozy. Well done by you.
We're not gonna tell everyone where
Oh.
to send.
Oh, good catch, Remy.
Remy
Immaculate
caught
catch.
that.
Jeremy, why don't you tell him? Put
Yeah.
the camera on you.
geez.
And
Oh,
you tell
yeah.
him. Go ahead.
Well, if you want to send us questions, send it on sidviewpodcast@gmail.com. Thank
Nailed
you.
it.
All right.
Nailed it.
Let's another chippy little episode here. Time for some weekly pick'ems. Let's giddy up. So there was some chatter in the live chat as if we kicked Jack off the podcast because he was beating us in the pick'ems. We plead the fifth on that. We are ultra competitive about this. But we have what we're going to do here is we're going to keep that score, and then by what we'd like to say popular demand, because we have gotten this request several times. Our in-studio guests are now going to participate.
Oh, hell yeah.
So Troy's going to join us here in the pick'ems. If we look at this is the scoreboard here. Remy is the only person that got one right.
Woo!
And although I'm not in last place, can I just tell you how bad my week was? Brandon Martinez did not compete at the Speedbowl, nor did Dylan Cabral, and John McKennedy crapped out before the feature. So
She didn't run.
you can't get any worse than that when
Man,
nobody.
Dude.
You know what's pretty bad?
I had
Only
one.
one of Diego's pick raced.
I had one race.
Yeah, but at least
Stafford heavy.
rain is excusable. Yeah. So
Good on you, Remy. Look at you.
Thank you.
yeah, well done
I
by
worked
you.
hard.
Diversified.
All
She
right.
says I worked hard.
So
I
did you?
did.
So the order goes Remy, Troy, Diego, Rob, and then my pathetic self.
Wait,
What?
that's not accurate.
Why not?
None of us got any, and you're ahead of us, me and Diego, in the points.
That is correct.
No, I went by the fact that you guys only got one, you got one wrong. I think you got two wrong. I got three wrong.
I don't know. I feel like that's not really come up yet.
Okay, I'll go sooner than you.
Yeah,
Fine.
that's what I'm talking about,
Well,
baby.
we want to
Hell
copy
yeah.
your
You
picks.
losers never
No, we
change your
wanna-
pick anyways.
We're
What does it matter?
going to copy your picks today. I'm going to try
Yeah,
it.
oh, Sid, I'm going to copy them all. We're going to write it right down.
We're going to copy your
everyone.
picks.
Anyway, I guess it's my turn. I got one right. Look at me. Anyway,
Settle down. Just say your stupid pick.
Thompson, 604, Keith Rocco, Stafford, SK Light, Nick Heavy, Waterford, SK Light, Robert Bloxham III, Seaconk, Sportsman, Kobe Lambert, and then for
Stop
my
banging the table.
sorry to
She was
force
getting into it, Sid.
my touring series, Wheeling and Austin Beers.
Which day does that matter? The doubleheader, isn't it?
No.
Settle
is
down over there,
Is
Bonzo.
Monadnock not this week?
No, it's
No.
Lancaster this week. Buddy.
Oh, my bad.
Yep, Monadnock's the following week. All right, Remy, well done.
Thank you.
Troy Talman, our first in-studio guest for the Pick'ems. Let's go.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Yeah, baby.
The inaugural picker.
All right, there we go. Thompson Speedway. The what do they call them? The open mods,
Yep.
torch
Yeah.
mods. So we're going with Matt Swanson and his family 89.
Oh, that's a nice
Okay.
pick.
Nice.
And Stafford Speedway late model. I'm going with Chris Meyer.
Oh, we like to call him Chrissy Two Scoops for the record, but go ahead.
yeah.
Have you heard this,
Okay.
Troy? Is
I
that
have
made the
not.
rounds? Yeah, okay. That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
apparently that's the nickname to go by.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll have to call him that next time.
Yeah,
Hey,
please
Two
do.
Scoops.
All right. Waterford Speedbowl SK Light. I'm going with Nick Hovey.
Well done.
And Seacock Speedway late model. I'm going with Mark Jennison.
Oh, all right.
I'm not really familiar with Seacock, but I know Jennison was a Thompson guy, so
Yeah. Okay, nice.
gotta pick him. And then touring series for the mod tour, I also picked Austin Beers.
Oh, okay. Austin getting some love there. All right.
I love the in-studio guest picks. This is
Yeah,
good.
that's
Yeah, this is
nice.
good because I feel like I'm getting like insider knowledge.
Yeah, me
like,
too.
what does
This
he
is
know
gonna
that I
be
don't?
great.
No,
I
I
don't
got a
know
little.
about that.
I got a little beef with Keeter. He says in the live chat, typical Sid making up rules. You know what?
Typical.
I got one thing for you, Keeter.
Oh, yeah.
You can suck it.
Yeah, you
Oh
guys,
my God.
he's Sid, you guys been friends a long time. He knows how you play.
He might be accurate.
Damn right.
All right, so you guys tell me who's going now.
You.
Oh, I am going now. Okay.
Oh,
You think you're gonna pass it off to one of us
Come
after
on,
that
let's go.
performance?
All right.
He's lost.
I'm going. No, I'm not lost. This is 5 winners right here. You ready?
Oh, okay. Well, let's see it.
SK Light at Thompson Hovey. I'm sticking with my man Clemente in the limited late models. I'm going with my guy Castro Pollard in the Super X car on Saturday night. Scott Saradinsky, Sportsman, Seaconk. I'm going with Patrick Emmerling in the tour race at Lancaster. You guys tell me who goes next.
You want me to go?
I don't care.
Brolicious?
Hey, I'll go.
All right.
Stafford limited lates. I have Kevin Cormier. Speedbowl SK Late. I got Hovey. Thompson Sunoco mods. I took Todd Owen. Whatever the Outlaws. You know what I'm talking about.
No.
604s.
604s or the Outlaws? Two different races.
604s.
604 Sunoco mods.
Sunoco's.
That's what
Whichever one Owen is leading the points in is what I'm picking him for.
604.
Okay, 604s.
There you go. Charlie Rose. I'm picking at Seacon for the late model 80. I guess they have a double length feature there.
Okay.
And touring series. Anyone else who picked Austin Beers this week will not be winning because I also picked him.
Bruh. Are you kidding me?
That's awesome.
Is
Sorry,
he that
Austin.
good at
Are you
Lancaster?
I think
kidding
he's
me?
won the last 2 there.
Yeah, correct.
Wow.
Yeah, he's really good there.
Yeah. So we all saw how he did last time I picked him. So Austin, best of
Bruh.
luck to you.
Ain't no way.
So you made a big stink that you could pick after me just
And
so
you
you
still
could pick
pick the same
Austin
people.
Beers. You guys are such dorks. It's unbelievable.
You're only a point ahead of us. Calm down.
Unbelievable.
We're all in the battle for the
You have
basement here
zero
together.
strategy. All
Remy's
of
a
you.
few stairs up.
Go ahead, Diego.
Okay, I'm going. My first pick is Thompson. I'm going late model, Jake Johnson.
Good one.
Chalk.
Chalk, whatever. Stafford. This one might be a chalk too.
Sure
Late
is.
model, Adam Gray. Yeah,
Not
he's
chalk. Not that chalk.
he's coming on.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going Speedbowl.
well,
Mini.
Jesus. Come on.
What?
You know what?
Ray RC3.
Is that correct?
Is that,
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
yep, that's who I'm picking.
All right.
Hopefully they're running because they were off last week. Mm-hmm. Seaconk. I'm going. Can I go Fast Friday?
Sure.
I'm going to go Rowdy Burns and the Legends again. Mm-hmm. Okay. And for the touring series, I'm going Nemo Light, and I'm going to our person that had sent the mail in.
Oh, nice. That's how you mix it up.
Okay. Dylan Kutu.
All right. Good
What we're
job by
doing.
you. All right. Well, we will. Another Wednesday thing. I got to post this. Man, this is just, it's
Come on, Todd.
podcast. It's tough to keep up with, man. There's just a lot going on here. All right. What do we have next? Remy, let's do a little pop culture minute, shall we? Let's get it.
Let's do it.
All right, so I got a little. I got a text from our awesome sponsor, the Pop Culture Minute, Dan Riley. Said, "Have you ever seen the movie Logan Lucky?" And he apparently was unfamiliar with it. Gave it a look-see, and he was not impressed. Now I know we've talked about this movie. I think Rob said you've seen it quite a while back.
Yeah, like pretty much when it first came out.
Yeah, and so Remy and I watched the movie. Can show you a little. Here's the movie poster for it. So it has a. It's got a pretty solid cast. I got to tell you, Adam Driver, Channing Tatum, Seth MacFarlane, Family Guy, Katie Holmes, Dwight Yoakam, and a cameo by Hilary Swank, and of course Daniel Craig, who was James Bond for quite a bit, and was directed by Steven Soderbergh, who is a pretty prominent Hollywood director. But I got to tell you, and so basically it's a heist movie about basically robbing the concession money underneath Charlotte Speedway.
Oh.
This movie sucked.
Did it?
I mean, I didn't even hold my attention.
He's like, this movie just
It was
sucked.
not good. And that was Dan's.
Did Dan like it?
He did not like it. No.
Remy?
Okay, so listen.
Wow.
All right.
It's like Siskel and Ebert here.
I tried to watch it twice. My first time watching it, I ended up on my phone. Second time, I was hanging out with a friend, and we were both watching it, and we're looking at each other. We're like, could we just change the flipping movie? And we ended up
that bad, huh?
I could not hold anything.
Yeah,
like, I
same
was
here.
zoning out.
So you'd rather watch practice on FS1?
Oh, no, you'd rather watch
Absolutely.
Talladega Nights.
Rob,
right?
even I want to watch practice
What?
on FS1.
That is a testament to how much you guys say. That's incredible.
Now, I
I
have
never
to
thought I'd hear
say-
those words.
For what it's worth, Rotten Tomatoes 92%.
I was just gonna say.
It's a pretty well reviewed movie. I mean, Rob, when you saw it, do you remember liking it?
I thought it was good. Although I was 15 when I
Wow.
last saw it, so like my taste probably changed since then. But I didn't remember there being anything really that wrong with it.
I will say this. I'm not.
What's the Rotten Tomato? It's
a movie
It's
critic.
a critic
Movie critic?
aggregate.
Yeah.
So
And
Yeah, but it's like a viewer. It's like based on people's own views. It's almost
Yep.
like a like anything.
like a forum.
Yeah,
almost.
exactly.
Yeah.
So damn, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, crap.
Yeah, you're going to say you never heard of it.
No. Charlotte Speedway? No, I know what I was going to say. Yeah, there is a, without giving it, I won't tell what the specific is, but it does have a twist at the end, which made it a little bit, but I mean, it took a long way to get there.
Yeah.
And I was like, it kind of
So
sounds.
you watched the whole thing, though?
I did watch the whole thing.
You never got into it, really?
Well, because I'm an editor, I get stupid about so they had a scene where it was supposed to be the start of the race, and it was just generic, definitely it was supposed to be about the start of the race. It had a Mike Joy clip in it about how we're underway here. I think it was the Coca-Cola 600,
where they're all like spread out.
and they're all spread out.
Yeah,
It clearly
yeah.
was just like some stock piece of footage. So right off the rip, that bothered me.
Right.
And of course, that's probably a budgetary thing. They probably didn't have the rights to
Yeah.
use the footage, but it was just.
I find it funny how movies that involve racing always are like notoriously bad at actually conveying how racing works. I mean, the
Yeah.
F1 movie that's in theaters was the first time I've really ever seen it done well.
It's hard to convey it though.
It is, but I feel like they could do a little better.
Yeah, I mean, there. I haven't seen them, but there's been some racing movies in the recent years that have gotten like better reviews, like Ford versus Ferrari. I think Ron Howard did a movie about F1 racing, if I'm not mistaken, that was well received. I shouldn't speak about it because I really don't know, but for the most part, to me, there's a gazillion baseball movies that are really fun to watch, and that's not the same when it comes to racing. I just think it's a sport that doesn't necessarily translate to good movies.
I mean, as far as the classic ones go, even the best racing movies are still like guilty pleasure. Like I like watching Days of Thunder,
Yeah.
but is it good?
I like
No.
Days of Thunder.
Hey, fun fact.
I do too.
Never seen Days of Thunder or Talladega.
What?
Nights.
Wow.
Crazy.
Do yourself a favor. Don't watch Talladega Nights.
Yeah, me and Diego both think it
it
sucks.
was probably the scene I'm watching. He's like Will Ferrell spinning out, puts it in reverse, and they're at like Charlotte, and he's full throttle backwards for a whole lap.
It's realistic.
I'm like, what is? I mean, this is bad. And he gets out. He's like, woo!
I've never seen either. Days of
Yeah.
Thunder, never seen it.
I enjoyed it.
I mean, there's a scene where he spins out in Talladega Nights and he like explodes. I mean, it's like a blowover, but if it was caused by an explosion.
Blowover. Here we
His
go.
favorite
So
word.
this is good. So in the chat, Keter's bringing up 3 weeks to Daytona, which we have done in the pop culture
Stroker
minute
Ace,
years ago.
like it,
Stroker
also
Ace!
bad.
Yeah,
I
and
like
I
Stroker Ace.
love that movie. Don't get me wrong. But
You didn't like that?
We just talked about Stroker Ace last week.
Oh, I didn't see that episode.
The only racing movie I've seen is
Doesn't even watch the pod when he misses it.
pathetic.
the
Unbelievable.
only racing movie I've seen is Cars and Cars 3. That's literally
Oh, you
it.
skipped the bad one, I see.
Yes.
So sometimes
All right.
I asked, I said, Emma, did you see Tomater go by you?
Wow.
Damn.
She gets mad.
All right, it's that time
Yep.
for our friends over at Myers Creamery. Serve up some of those root beer floats. Let's giddy up and find out what's on tap,
Here
shall
we
we?
go. Bye, Sid. Bye-bye.
He's drowning in schedule.
Yeah. All right, lots going on here. I forgot to update both of that. I'm going to take that off so I can have the SK Light 40 there. So that's a rescheduled SK Light 40 at Stafford, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Monaco Ford double down.
From May.
Yeah. So tomorrow we got Wednesday over at Thompson. 604 is their usual slate of divisions plus open mods, NEMA lights. Stafford's got the SK Light double down. Seekonk, after having the holiday weekend off, is back in action both Friday and Saturday. The Speedbowl's got that Super X car 40 lapper. The Tour is over at Lancaster up in upstate New York. MRS is at Lee on Friday. Granite State Pro Stocks at Claremont. And how about R&R Street Stocks are up at Spud Speedway. Still a bucket list track.
Oh, yeah.
They have some pretty good social media. They had, I don't know if it's the promoter. I don't know who it was, but some guy was out in the grandstand area hyping up the event. It was pretty good. And I think Tapley's told us they only run a handful of shows a year. It's not like it's a weekly track.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool to check that out at some point here. But that is a hike. We talk about going to Thunder Road. I feel like that one's probably 6 hours away. That's at the northern tip of Maine, if I'm not mistaken.
Packed schedule.
All right, anyways, we're heading down the final stretch here. Let's try to find out who won the week. Live chat, get yourself ready.
Who are you?
Brought to you by Skate It. We say it right. Although I almost didn't that time because Remy's freaking dancing and looking at me over here. I almost started laughing. So, yeah,
Skate
managed
it.
to hold on.
Because we say it right.
All right, so I have a, let's see, I got Brandon and Aaron Plemons for winning on the same day, Corey DiMatteo for winning his first late model race and becoming the sixth driver to win in 5 different divisions, Rowdy Burns for checking off a win at the Speedbowl, Connor Doyen remains undefeated in the Speedbowl Bandos, Garrett Hall for winning the Celebration of the Americas 300 Pass North race at Oxford Plain. Jeffrey Battle for winning the second straight New England Supermod win. Kind of a light week because
How about can we
I got
can
one.
we use the Burnt family?
Yep. That's
Yeah,
exactly
that's a good
what I
one.
was saying.
That's a great one, actually.
I want to pick Leanna and
Oh,
Eric
yeah.
Burnt because they are the true winners.
They got my vote too.
There was I think Raymond Herman should be on your list. I don't know if that was said.
Yep, Ray Herman's a good one.
Ray
Yep.
Herman and if not them, the Plemons family
Yeah.
winning on the same night is pretty remarkable. But I don't think anything beats the win that Leanna had won this week.
I would put Garrett Hall second,
Garrett Hall.
Yeah. Garrett Hall's day and all that he went through.
That was great.
But the Burnts, I think, win the week for me.
Yep.
Remy, what do you got?
Damn, you're gonna make me go.
Right, they make you feel bad if you don't pick the
I
Burns, so-
know.
Yep.
That
Good
makes
job.
me.
Good job, Diego.
My dad says you vote SVG, Sid. Is that true?
I don't even know who that is.
Shane Van Gisbergen, the winner of Chicago.
It's like,
I don't.
Who?
I also don't care.
who the hell is SVG?
Nobody cares.
My God. Thank you, Bill.
Troy, you got to vote in this one. Still mulling it over.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's a really cool stat. Corey DiMatteo.
Yeah.
But Eric Burton, Leanna, to beat cancer. That's
Yeah, that's the ultimate victory.
yeah.
Yep. Rob, what you thinking?
I'm thinking Leanna and Eric Burnt right there. I mean, it's 2 wins right there.
Yeah. Remy?
You go.
Well, I mean, I thought it was Brandon and Aaron Plemons was pretty strong until Diego threw the old guilt trip on everybody. But no, that's tough to beat. And I know personally what it's like to to have a spouse beat cancer's ass. So I know just what an awesome feeling it is to ring that bell. And I've seen my wife do it, and it is. I've never won a race, but I can't imagine that it would be any cooler than that. So I'm going with the Bernts. Go ahead and say whatever you want. You can pick whoever you want.
Remy, no one's judging you.
I know. The hell?
It's okay, Remy. We know you want to pick Danny Bone.
Yeah, pick Danny Bone. No?
Remy, say
That's not the
something.
pick.
Jeez,
Damn.
Lou.
I was gonna go with the Plemons
Clemens?
family.
All right, that's a good
I mean,
pick.
it's a good one.
That is a good pick.
Like that is probably like racing by itself is probably one of the best stories of the weekend, if not the
It
best.
really is.
Yeah.
Who's done it
Yeah.
It's never been
in
done.
the same night?
Yep.
No.
All right. We have everybody in the studio locked in. You went with Burnt? Yeah.
Oh, I want to give a quick shout out to Jeff Malave too, buddy of mine. He just beat
Oh,
cancer.
yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Great point.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he
Jeff's
did.
a good
I've been
guy.
reading the posts. And
I did see that.
That's a great point, Troy. Thanks for bringing that up. So any of those guys that win deserve this award. So
while Rob's tallying it up, I was got the Casella gear on there. So chatting with him at the Racers reunion. Said there's an interesting story about how you guys got hooked up.
You want the long story or the short story?
Yeah, give us the most entertaining one.
Well, my short story is just drinking beer at the Thompson Speedway parking lot after the races. It was 2022. I wasn't racing because they threw the SKs out at that point.
Yeah.
But I still went. I think it must have been a Tuesday or Wednesday show because I went right from work. I was still wearing like the nice collared shirt, khaki pants, and like dress shoes.
Business style.
No business being at a racetrack, you know. So I went down and watched my cousin Brian, and then afterwards, the tag crew always has stops for when they call it Pit Road, right. I guess it's the road course straightaway right outside the pit area.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then those guys left. It wasn't time to go home yet. Didn't want to go to bed and get up to work the next morning. And then I ran into those guys, Mark Demaro, Junior and Senior.
Yeah.
I never met Senior to that point, but I know Junior. And they actually, Casella was a contingency sponsor at Stafford Speedway. I got a second, earlier in the year, and we actually sent them a letter, like, hey, thank you very much. So Senior knew of me that way.
Yep.
And then, we just got talking, shooting the breeze. And he's like, hey, what will it take for you to get in my car? And we were going back and forth. And, he's like, give me a call tomorrow. So I did. It was, I don't know, it was like 10 a.m. And he picked up the phone. He's at the dentist office. And he's like, no way. He's like, he couldn't believe I called.
From beers in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when the best ones. That's when the best deals are made. That's what I told Mark when he was telling me the story. I was like, "Yeah, that's when the best deals can be made."
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah,
and
it's been a good partnership ever since, right?
Oh
yeah.
That's awesome.
They've been solid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good people.
Solid.
Yeah,
good
they've
people.
helped us out a lot.
It's been great to see.
Yeah, we're just a family team, and they helped us tremendously.
Yeah, good
Step it up.
people.
Yeah.
All right, Rob, let's go. What do you got for the tally there, Chief?
Alrighty. Not a long list. We got Speedbowl with 1, Danny Bone with 1, Ryan Priest with 1, Corey DiMatteo with 2, the Plemons family with 4, and winning this week, the Burt family. I mean, that is a fantastic story, and congratulations to both.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. That is a supersized show. It's 9:01. That's the
First ever 2 hours,
longest
right?
show of the year so far. Now, listen, you are going to want to follow us on social because, our girl Rem, we love her because she just makes you laugh, says funny stuff. Diego, give us some shout-outs, brother.
One of my favorite parts. I want to thank Belltown Motors for the weekly update. Of course, Waddell Communications for the Nostalgia Nugget. Northeast Performance and Parts for the Popcorn Stat Chat. Of course, Broadbrook Heating and Cooling for Did You Know? Ed Marcel Firewood and Land Clearing for the Viewer Mail segment. Midstage Site Development for the Stat Drop. Northeast Truck and Off-Road for the weekly pick'ems. Riley Generators, thank you for the Pop Culture Minute. Of course, Myers Creamery and 2 Scoops for What's on Taps. Sorry, Chris. Skaken LLC for Who Won the Week. Of course, JDL Motorsports, Servpro of Norwich for the point standings. We do appreciate that. Of course, always Monaco Ford for the results ticker. DRC Electric's always been solid for the chalkboard chatter. Appreciate you. Seacon Grand Prix for firing up the hot seat. Great to have Hot Shoe and recent winners at Stafford over the last couple of years. Mr. Troy Talman, thanks for joining us.
It's a great time. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah, man. Good guy. Of course, Vault Productions for this kick-ass studio. Last but not least, all you podcast members, the chat was great tonight. Appreciate you guys checking in. Next week, we'll see you again.
I want to say a special thanks to Speedbowl History and Racing America for the videos tonight, and also to Fran Lawler for the photos.
All right, everybody. Full slate. All 4 Southern New England tracks are in action, plus a plethora of touring series. We'll go over it all next Tuesday. We'll see you then.